the substantive prosecutor Emmanuel Nyameche prayed for the adjournment to enable prosecution to meet its disclosure obligations. Brofo amaka nyina ne say was omo ama eya abronye 14 days say won fan file bibia wonim nkrata asembia wonim a na obetumi agina so ewo atemu a ebekoso no na was we by we bi we prosini Raymond Akom wono na egina mu ma prosecutor Emmanuel Nyameche esre court ne say court na join case ni said be ya wo mo obokwaduo no kwadubofo no wo betimi meet all the disclosure obligations say no court no hyehyɛ mu no de men me di ya dance abetia wo de wo so defense no munyina mo de gu nkrata so na mo de aba anania ma bia wo hu wo de aba eno na prosecution ne say ye mo mo bre nti court na mo 2 weeks a mo de bi di asem ye nkoi Yewra Honorable Bernard Bidiakon Akotia MP. Osai mremni Honorable Memoache.
Yeah, papa.
Yo. Na me kan say LGBTQ plus bill. Ya bobo no ama na anu fiada atwa mu yete se parliament apase ehun chinywa de bebre from the minority wom caucus in parliament wom press conference wom ye bobo ba Speaker ba ye no wose da bi o instruction mi ja no wakire no kire se me se da mo nwenwie nti mo paase de a we ye na enso nka ebe ya nka mo miantwe enko akiri na ye nyina ye nsa nwenwie hu biom na enema akoye nchinywa hyew no ye ni di hu nkomo na afi ye hu ba bi a ye de beto nanso ye say we ne say we leader Honorable Mahama Yarga I said there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to discuss. And me ade. And come baby abedre eto say.
Yo for Kwame. Ya wone watiefo ne wapamfo an ne omo edwuma hefo nia. Ntia Ghana fo nia ne titu nia Akye Abia. Me da wasenso wo sa akwenye ya map. And say no kwe embrace ya pass ya the time the Hong Kong eti no de nem say me ha me ho be brain but say could we say if you had the twa mu no e pass emran ya pass e wie ye e dem ho a ye wo ho a ye because that day na me wo ho bi bibia akọ kama na menche bibi mu kakra bi a na obi antie nkomo a ye de ka di twa mu no the parliament jumadi no say obi de emra eba emra no ye omu mienu say eye ekuo bi na aban na sponsor bill bi e de ba ana say MPs na nkasa nso eno ne friend private members bill omo so etimi ehhehye emra e de ba say yenhwe yenim asem we ni history na aban a wo so sa abre no no onye interest say obeshe mra LGBTQ nti MPs ni bi ekabo mu no mba be idwuma no ewi ase one sign or say asem wo court asem no kra no court ni di asem no on the 13th day of December it is now say wo court nti na one sign after 13th December na on na otwemienu miensa e wa akonya so nga betimi assign so no so one sign nti na sign na yewura kufuado no say on sign now ye ba ye no na there was this division say yemfa emrano enkosa na president ensign eye president Mahama no wase bose obehwe ema emra we abeye emra yesi yemfa nkono ensign ene bi nso say there bi eji mfa nkosa isan say emrano na 8th parliament ni hobio intino say no eno so eni hobio ye bobo hu ano na speaker be ma ruling say nyono so yonim no na be the ruling na obi an challenge ne say emra no ene old parliament in parliament na wu ntini yan hye bibia asefofo no and of Kwame let me state this na tiefo nti emra na me wo copy e program this year say TV so anka me be kire emra na ye di hudwuma na omso de koma yewura akukwado assign na wantimi one sign no Mosa de video na yewra speaker say yen sha sefo pro. Mosa de ba no. Na mra na nkasa mo na mo tro mo mra na eye private members na yewra ntim pojo account. No ma fa niema. Mo kwa mi tie ni o mo no ma fa bi niema bi wo. Mo amade na mo de call. Enti na so be bi so obi sa de nti ni amfa sa mra na nkoma president ansa. Emra de yen mra wo. Eye di person sponsor. Ni sponsor yewra ntim pojo account. Ode mra na se be bio ni asa hwe na ene ya pass no one ka so ma so mra ni bio. It is all here in common. I am on both sections. Section 9 of the old, the new act. Yeah, all come once a week. By section, I think 12 or 13 in the old one. Now your part and got sections and others. Now very significant for the benefit of NSR section 9. As the Yaka clause now, Yaka can see the amendment as similar. Previously, no under section I think 12 or 13, no almost thrown no saake and the buy. Where the omode ban almost throw a woman subject to the constitution. Second time it is subject to the constitution, you know. At the end year trans and you said there and the procedure is this. So the Mraba Parliament, a private members bill. What happens is that it was a speaker, refer Edema Constitution and Legal Affairs Committee. No more they report every because I know you're mrase and TSR or committee, most of the people on that committee are lawyers, almost all of them. She almost have no more report about it. It's a report from the buyer of Kwame the Juma. Sorry, a committee is made up of both NDC and MPP. A Yevra, Asumedu, respected lawyer, Okaho, Yevra Hassan Tampuli, respected lawyer, Okaho, Yevra Bia Monia, Eka, and Omudi to men on the buy. It's on Friday, and okay, you could see now, speaker, deputy speaker, no precise, no kind say, young chef near your constitution, I know second reading near consider. Near consider me, because usually on Friday, the norm is that Fridays, days are a type on them because MPs no a type call from constituency, and say briefly. But there has been Fridays that and no, yasre. And my dream maybe or why, so and no dear.
Okay, yeah, 101.
It's on the day, no, yeah, Jumana, every year, consideration every year.
Consideration, not someone, Namukano. According to speaker, was it Nakamuya, we are not saying Kamuda to a train, one said, dear Bain.
Okay, so Emrano ne say, you cannot say. Emrano ne say, considered a second reading, now consideration area, as a set Emrano Daho, at least at the chair, yet cannot parliament bill at the chair and found at the flowing at the chair. It is at least one certain and son, I back. Procedurally, no, you will be a procedural motion. Say, you person your business, now your person, your cost of twice a year, no, Sadana, Yayani Baby. As I say, you'll be moving motion, not for say, yes, I'm run over now, so your person, I had to say, your forego rano, near Tuajumedian. So that procedural motion was moved by your president, Honorable Siamapo, on the day. And it was seconded by the majority leader, Honorable Mahama Yariga. It is a vote and proceedings. Indeed, that issue say, necessary that whole 1 day and Sunday about the person. And no, Anyajuma. And yes, sir, and in fact, yes, a wavy requirement. But you see, significantly, of Kwame, minority for among us, there is a breach of any law. And now rules, you have what now you are minority leader for your market. No, Obi you have basically one raising issues. You are British, Mrebi, and now Ruby. Meaning, only Omudin Komodobia Katrawa. Almost from the same Rano, ya changes womb. The content of them Rano, Omun, and raising any procedural issue. Obi raising because there is none. But you see, me, speaker, anyhow, or your instructions say, your consideration, and what yes, speaker here. one can does a tiam redia. See, Gangazi at Yambra, they won't yoka and say, oh, you ja and sources say, and Kayan share consideration. Because what Nim Okaka wouldn't say, 5 days upon them, it's empty the person Beko. It's a matter of Okasa, I am one. And one because of a rabbit. No, Nimsy a bit to me at Nasa, 5 days, and I drop up as a round. They don't just yet Yam redia. I had to say something, what they work for a movie, on the mouth, and also busy with thy mouth. Now, unim so by day, no, you unim say, oh, betting up to course bear me and some for the day. A deal, okay, say, and then you betting up to course me and send to your course me and son me back. Oh, Baba, a branch yes, down here, we use the 8. Why do I have one minimum so betting me? I don't just for home. The only thing they say, your class is that a mechanical of whom say we overwork ourselves as MPs on Friday, I think you feed them. Ya je tumzi en kofi emra we ya de ekia Ghana
emra na mo ye saade we nya na minority for no we
amu to dem o emra afena market wo ho je renting for do a ofi radio we no ko we o kasa no wo ho obi a wo ho
me ba cho one man raise concerns be over in respect of any be an amendments and wo mu a one day aba abontin they've gone to town to talk about
omo wo ho omo receive in fact honorable India on Oka Constitution and Legal Affairs Committee of MPP mo ono na obeka say ono odi amendment ni apum except mienu no may driving to me, but now you don't know one had to do with organization say no and it's a jail say then okay I go we are free. It's the say yeah say the final draft never ban count. That is how to build a nation. Oh will be and what can you go na classroom yeah baby. I go near the house or send you renting for your amendment yes amendment today a committee for legal constitution and legal affairs and they do won't count that committee no count the fact that we are sponsor no and let's emphasize abide the bill back yeah the constitution and legal affairs committee because yeah shamra it's in the end woman yeah be yefu it we are a sponsor of a bill and say as a one now will decision here final once parliament assumes the role as a parliamentarian yeah the committee is and they do it. It won't make a because we have sponsor, you know, not every step in the way. Now, of course, how many more can I say? But we are on the Akano. Sabi, a lawyer for our in is honorable thing for your lawyer. It is someone here, won't saw your sponsor there. But 1 year now about the top committee, and that committee is made up of persons also on your side. One can say, Yaba plenary, no, when to me and can say, oh, wait, can't find shape in your can say. Yeah, them think of yes, I didn't them to you. Yeah, can subject to the constitution. I'm more mobile to say, Mono. And on that, emphatic say, subject to the constitution, it's say, Obi Ego, appoint us or a lawyer. Say, you're accusing medical doctor, so being complications that was to make anymore. Medical doctor will inquire over.
One room concern was say, I didn't answer your bra, some men quiet. And now, wakwakoyo we are was all right to said Dr. Hewo. The right to a council for that matter. One woman say about someone next year most social
of a family. Nyachumwe what you were. Men cocaine people for near Nyachumwe what you renting for Johnny Juma Woodin on a legacy. As someone yaking, what you embrace no Cassie, Kona almost section 20 of the old act now, and as the old bill now says the Kufa one fine. And for my wife, Obi Yachi Obi Nase, so per se of a doctor, Yama Quina doctor, section 20. Oh, almost for saying a name. It's only a no map for Yamana Boom. Now Ghana 4B, unfortunately, no my buying into it. It's not true. When I got count almost section 20 of the old bill, no 20 na kase so nipa no ye che no ye di na se mpo na se esese onya medical care ye mfa medical care no na ofa kwa me why even prisoners and no mo adi awu omo am robbers owo prisoners si ana o yare aban he no aban doctor for head who
Omo
ya convicted no so yare aban he no and now obi in fact the practice no obi puni pampo ni edi na sem na oni siko de be fa lawyer e se sa aban man lawyer ansa na edi na sem say ye nya lawyer ye ndi na sem. That is our jurisprudence. That is our law. It is sabe onipa no den na why saade way and yamon some way emranitia. But you no decide to say e bin pa yes why e bin pa no nye. To me speak for the Yamaton for it is the right to counsel. In fact, a constitutional right. You have a right to defend yourself. It is a okase, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is why you're a Hassan Tampuli or your lawyer, you're a Sumedi, a lawyer, you're a Ndiam. Obuniadi to said there is nothing wrong with it. I didn't say you're renting for you, and one propaganda and tea. Tena ya isn't you? Ya kaya dia natural say ya isn't media for. Asamoah ya can say the media ni report on LGBTQ in the normal course of the journalism. Kwame Nkrumah yedi nya LGBTQ nkomo na yedi.
Ana ho nkomo na yedi.
Enti ya metew. Se wadi nkomo.
O there be some min cans min promote say obi nko ye bi ene ade. Emi nkomo na yedi.
Ya. Section 11 no aka bibi say wo be fund, wo be promote, wo be fund, wo be promote. Anase wo be bibia o de ebo na baso anase bibi no. What to Ghana mra and wo be cook prison between 3 and 5 years. And we am fire sankai. It is a year renting for job a catcher or say I am to the purpose of money or pa. It does say onim ni oka na waseda and yan correct. But sabe even doctor for fire class in accordance with the accepted standards of the medical profession. Sabe inti doctor ni inti mi sorry nka so you be or ba surgery abedane bema. That is not an accepted standard in our medical aid. It do you are promoting. So you come under section 11. And you are culpable. Kwame what yes. Bibia nkobone. Emrano eye tight. Bibia ye pedie bi wom. Bibia society eye niwo yewra kufu adwantimi anye. He lost a golden opportunity to become the custodian of our values. Wantimi anye otusu so pe abrofusika over your health. And John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, and the NDC say ye buy ye. Oh, I finished funny and you know. One thing they done from the same person. And your press conferences are binding interested or LGBTQ no on your interest. Now why you Omrano for Prodiaba and let me keep emphasizing and say, oh, one Casamrano the bar for the second time, and the first one, and yet it is not the same. So how do you blame Opisa as a son here? This Amrana, ne baby Opisa is here. Also, also, Unyokono, Yademawa, also the audio. Or none of them ran by a CS, and I don't know for the second time. And the evidence is there. Me say, section 9 of Nia Party, and section 13. Say a part, section 13 of the old one. I don't think one for the same thing, Amber. I'm more changes. Now why you changes now? But I said now you put what subject to the constitution. You are calling the constitutional provisions are a certain rights to people to discuss the matter, which is any criminal libel. It is a journalist in the normal what is it? For LGBTQ now. We are or the report on the news more. I know the normal course of the journalism. But so that's not radio so. Promote to say there is nothing wrong with your friend is saying LGBTQ. People can do it. That is a promotion. And no comes under section 11, which is not taxed. And you're still intact. And we are running section 11. No? It is the engineer can then it's your about me as some more kind. On one you and the Nipa air casa. You're renting for your prayer. Air casa baby. You're a casa. Your friend is saying, assume I do no more committee, no more year, you man, no more man. But you're ranting for your prayer, no class of our own and self free at the own air casa. Sabe, a year about me, I say, yes, and send someone, or no, you, and say, be more complaining. But yeah, you are here, 30 years, nay, not from Keke. And until you're about me, and you see, let me also emphasize, say, parliamentary authority and residing in members of parliament. With the greatest respect, Speaker presided over direction. And one thing as OTA in the Casania, or threat or appeal one director of a quite one difference. One director say, may someone you say there be. And your MPs, no, they say determined. And one thing, many are not me, and I don't blame Speaker because not speak anyhow. In some what can I handle? But the young are here, he gave himself one idea because that be you have a market or on any number. Now, because I've been answering. But what is we being done? Because who said there was nothing wrong? There is nothing wrong with the bill. 80 no 18. 80 and one other say as I see a trade speaker, say one BNC, and you know, because me again say, baby, I have between some rawi, yeah, more tamfunya, young quiet of a Kwame, and Rano ya passe to my what say and near my Ebe Brano. No one. Edi pa mo by Makasaya de da and I'm Pasio and I'm on interest woman ya afe moto to home. Moto to home they say ya nyamoden. Ye pa asem ye ba asem it of a Kwame on fi anyede. Na mo kasa na president ni Ghana ono so ati hoye bebe and ono so raise issue say emra no wateten sem bi wo ho ene ade ntia wo se ye sesa. Of course president so kasa because of they amo ye fa ho no. But me and I want them throughout the day. I mean, himself on EBS, you don't match you. Because I never be look, people have raised issues of quorum. Quorum, no, okay, Article 102 and 104 now. Any justice have lied, case in a Supreme Court now. Yes, you catch a quorum of to start business, you know, Article 102. But say you have a two about now, you may take a decision. I say you're more than half of MPs. The operationalization of Article 102 and 104 is captured in our standing orders. It's not in the Constitution. In the standing order 64. 64 not say a fire, especially a faso, say obi susu say yeni koruma. What happens in this say and yes speaker ya ma chamber ho dey and can say answer your best starting business yan kan ni pe o. That's not what happens. And one thing that can be say it is a presumption. And unless it is rebutted, we proceed. Because you must start here, Juma, and Casa Yanka, if you once you started. And you are say you need quorum, no, now be raised on the floor. That is what you're standing on the snake. Oh, raise ya, Nika, your band, sir, of a Kasoke. Your mat 10 minutes, near fire ring a bell, no call MPB office, a bell, no hobby. It is your bell now, who office crowd, who committee, office dear, or committee so over in far washroom crowd to see a bell. No one to make up an answer, but before that ground, class no ever kind nipper after the matter has been raised on the floor. No what kind nipper or no who so yen do sa number no near Bob Bell no na Obia or because over Parliament of Kwame or reporters that your own crowns in him so if you are on one not fitting a cost of power, but when is the brace at the cafeteria. There be corridors, a big crowd committee meetings, a few or more officers. And that is why, and that's already quorum now, maybe a good agron. You have 10 minutes near Bob Bell, so be Emra. Even after the 10 minutes, you are in your number now. Yes, our speaker, according to the standing order, so bear journey for no more than 1 hour. Not the assessor, maybe Uncle 4 meetings, committee meetings near the Omobeba. And after 1 hour, don't say, yeah, your number, not the not say no. And ran on the speaker air journey. Now, so be Uncle Razy, you're Rafael your Martin, you're ranking for your crowd, oh, be Razy, say you need. And next, say, now, decided, oh, I don't feel an idea for Nicole. Because in taking a decision, you hear more than half. Sabren, young kind nipa, you need attendance book, near Braoba. You have a 12 by and central attendance view that you are dancing. It is one who claim me say, you need quorum, no one dance any day. And our TV so now, who you say Nipa way. Now, I don't say, yeah, near MP. Ministers are allowed in the chamber, but they don't have a right to do it. Will have video, no. Now, who say Nipa say in the Okaya? And you may be wrong. In fact, class supplied to me a table class. The almost 19, maybe on the document video, if you be clear on Befro. If you watching a video, it's not enough. You need to get the attendance book. Now I say, na attendance book no when na aye photocopy de nam express ni equal. So this matter is related. So no business see any quorum. It's a already or don't forget to say you hectare vote. 80 the hectare vote and other case you can you nipa 10 and a vote yes and a 0. It is a vote no. It means that now we are 10 war. Here as many as almost 2 no enka there was no. In fact, me myself because of Kwame Bisa say. So currently, what is their position? Emrano, Yemuno, and Ayanya, the only thing can't that. What you be so position you then? Emrano, you're passing years, and the only you rabbi, ya again say, young Kim running, saying, and some review. Momunka, not Kali Bishop Conference, one to say, yeah, family, minority 40 and saying Mumrano. Not if you meant to say, yeah, family, minority 4, it be some. So position on the bill currently near then. There is none. It is with the greatest respect. Speaker, no niho intimate ditum. Kafana ibebre. You are worried, but may I assure no. Papa no. There is nothing on to it. I was angry. Mischief, any propaganda. If you can said that person who I didn't feel scandalizing on them yet to say when he be a see President Mahama, Miss Row. And Massa dear way and Macasano and Memesa position on this. Let's remuhe. We share no problem be more confusion after Article 106 no at treasure. So what problem be any portion of the bill over to me acting aggressive. But in terms of the procedure now you say will be say any quorum any say no. Article 106 does not afford the president that opportunity to comment on that. Okay, Article 106, I think 8 now. It refers a president, only a problem what bill no a content no more but the president does not have the power to write to parliament and say that does not lie within the powers of the president. It is just about the content of the bill. It is the president, Attorney General and a lawyer for Marietta advising say maybe a particular portion of the bill no. And so say yes, if you say yes, and no Article 106, no, obey from the speaker and our clerk say, young chef Abby, near consider the law allows it. That is a different thing from your father, because the one different room of a more clerk and say, when free and quiet. And yes, the I will be say, why would to me, and of a more into one jabber on the ground. None here can say so. Gino shame no exercise the powers under Article 106 in KFA, but one no one and that at the moment, the president of the republic is ready to receive it or receive it, and the lawyers are advising. Then we shall proceed from there. At the moment, me and the lawyer for the catcher. But in so far as the obey lawful, we don't have a problem. But yet, with the greatest respect to the speaker. Papa
anyway, dear speaker Akin and no mobile then because me say he was meeting with the leaders of parliament now or my dream and no what to be seeing maybe
and no say only leadership no this year no only leadership here no and no bata katre e appeal and no ba no and no bata every detail say or no there sadie we no opese nia ya kan ho na enkoye se we aka we your three say yen san reconsider near famra. That was after the meeting with the leadership. And then when you made me leader because or no there on then ya one na family you say boni bien obi anya hwe na MPP for no o timi ni omo NGB bintu omo life ano no o ka say ya om say na leader praka say ye ni aye nim edu ba bi no mo accuse me leader say onu ka na delay ade no Osianya, after you then ya saba, nti sa meeting na speaker happily, me leader at the moment, say bibi beso sandia, me leader so aka say, or no there, sa invitation say, yen san reconsider, or no there, on Jintu. And it is within his right. I side with me leader, as a matter of fact. Because now me what them, minimum course, so one be because you're rapping your party. You're renting for you. Omuniano, whatever, will be a reason issue, there is no issue. Speaker concerns, yes, noted. but with the greatest respect, BBR and company, it's you know, you need BBR at the moment. The bill has been passed. The drafters are fine tuning it. The company was once a year, or no, but yet that is not to show any disrespect to the speaker. The problem is that the authority resides in us as MPs, and that is what our decision as my majority leader has stated. At least here in your pocket. Now minority for Nankasa, what is all Makaza?
See, Miwa Maminya na young corner be a bessie biano so necessary speaker Bassett were ruling out to say Monsan Tansing and reconsidered be more. And no were veto and no idea the bessie.
Oh, there be speaker need that authority.
Okay.
Respect. Only Yamran map. Well, speaker directed, speaker or ruling. But the area you may speak, I don't think, because of your turn, Nigeria Mubiano, no, what that authority to say speaker one. I just say, yeah, Tom Rebbe, yes, and Tom Rebbe. Ramon said the Yama ruling. He becomes Fantus official. Oh, for Kwame. Lawyer Penny Pano. Would you want to and Chobe Jajaka? Yavishrao.
Honorable Bernard Bediakon Akotia MP and I no atwetwe enkomo no na me de we fam obaabia betrans na da kwaku ye bo asoso oni Baba Rahman any co school na
Gaga utwa to musie na Baba de ese me pani nche no ntumi me go school
na kwagwe Mami Musasem. Baba Rahman. Minimo no. O mami ton tize to za afidie wu. E wo mamu bi.
Edu ka go sise.
Go sise.
Ko won tena hu no fitaje.
Oli enwa ente katra o na fitaje nu.
Oh gawe. Onye bad player. Obi a Chelsea assign ni pe onye bad player. But
me kwa Chelsea assign me pe.
Onye bad player but you say Kwame empenifo se udua konkonsen buru a efifiru na the nipa na o manage no e keto kreku no ena ma
keku manager no
a na manage
eni oni mbobo
ena ma draw sa needless public attention on the boy no very humble and respectful but unfortunately no baby odi no ho akobata na ma pressure abano so because Kwame ni peisi wakobobo Kumasi blaster match Kumasi ena supporters aye ni ri ofunu ena mo huru mu ntine busuafo se Ghana supporters anu oya ti blaster wo nyabo anti we jabo yibo a konfie na
Haji akande be sunu ntari
David onu kwa de o se no mu ntari no blaster ozo ne yemfa ne ba ne nka ho ba when de o se ne busuafo se Ghana supporters o mo huru nipa dodo ti wo nyabo ena we ja no watin ba yi
ye huru nipa no
so go bo blaster match
they be obi ahu aka say Baba Rahman utwa no
one personal experience o Kumasi e bo match bi o Kuma o mu huru no onya bo no mu huru no ana ne busuafo se Ghana fo anu ya nto onya blaster no bo ana we ja bo ana get the fu ya san ko de da ko ya Sani na bejire ba.
Wouldn't say.
Enu azuzu ni danye ya. Go go van wo ba ya say guy.
Wait.
Oh, dear.
I am the packet asem. So convince you abebo die. Oh, easy. Wouldn't say like to say to ado. So ka so coach bi. Go no si. Nia. Yet den. Ma ti say wo se.
Mini agua bi mini.
Mini agua bi mini. Na den. Ma ti say wo se. Edi Baba Rahman no who that get a friend no Baba 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 ma bodi mprai Baba Rahman so take your prim kakra
zawala
ebiesa Bra never bo me brasta ne mami why Como so far match no
la oba mu duado no bega zen oduado Maybe you wa with my bre for you.
Na who's that? Okay, say no so who is that Otwado a president?
Ah, okay.
No, I'm man so best me saje Jimmy. Oh, but I'm not going to performance to say.
Kwame, what I saw ni say first 45 minutes no. Minim say either say na Carlos Queiroz opese unsteady opponent no. Ana say no opese undefended. Because we started the game with 3-4-3 formation. Now about 3 back. Na ye up front 3 no. Na Kwabena do Suleiman Kamal Dean any Jordan Ayew. Sa up front 3 no. So we be ohwe ball no critically be na so opportunity to review. Anytime the ball was in the vital area of Wales. Now apart from Jordan no be antake. No minim se coach na wa instruct o mo sa.
Na Jordan no so no.
Ntina onunkwa na all press whenever the ball was in the 8 like around the 18-yard box, the vital area of the opponent. Until say ball no tra center line and some the other wingers no adwene attack it. But for me, I don't know why they adopted that approach, because one way to confuse your opponent, put your opponent under pressure is to press. And the coaches always say the best way to defend is to attack. And it's open say we show opponent right from the vital area now we pass out the pressure is in so. But we were so relaxed to say anytime the Wales had the ball in their vital area, apart from Jordan, none of the 3 attacking players was launching attack and now pressing. Ntiema first half no na were very defensive and sheda amwa. Your goalkeeper Atizigi did a good job. Mihunu say na oma passer otumi allocate players no, he did a few good saves. But in the first half no, na your weakest link e baby ana Gideon Mensah operating no, so left back or kro na. Enti all the dangerous incursions of Wales na Gideon Mensah were left. Crosses be a buy in the first half be an.
Your problem is saying I was say defense your left one.
Left back no there Kwame.
Guy back what they say Amate or something.
No, Amate was a central defender.
Could be.
Yeah, share danya left back or yes solid in recent times. Ntino Osha all their piercing passes ni na James at the faho.
The faho.
Ena Senanya had a good.
The Babana coach no. When who say honu.
We said your one no last year na did that way. Last year na muni bravo baby ni.
Akwesiambo for G.
The last year no go very way. And but Senanya had a good game at the right full back, the right flank. He was operating very effectively. Until moment to me and balls now for Bebre in the first half. Then another mistake here in the first half, and he say we were committing too many fouls in our vital area. Because it's only team B ball or a good free kick taker. Now committing so many fouls in your vital area over the car Bebre before the first half ends. And then Pate, for some reason, now in fact, referee was lenient with him. Nanka so many second yellow card.
Because a baller all born as well was Saka Park.
Oh, he didn't have a good game, but Pate is not a bad player. But anyway, Ade Akye Abia says a 10-card team in Kasa. After first yellow card, no, second attempt, second tackle no ye no. Uhe slow motion na a bookable offense. And Nanka so Oja referee no ko, you are still challenging the referee. Uko yes I will walk up. You be more second yellow. Now if you walk with Tanasi, now we're weakening team no. But first half in all sincerity, up to about 35th minute, me and more short at goal. 36 minutes. Oh yes, me share that monitor. 36 minutes and a Kamadin a ball shot tobacco straight into the goalkeeper's waiting arms. And then if you want to send a good ball Bianca Washer, the goalkeeper and tip here over the bar. Then the second half, we are coaching a effective substitution. Brandon Asante came to join Jordan, and this time around Brandon Asante brought in some energy on no press into Obeboa Jordan the pressing no Emma now after to me the pressure to so in their own area to the extent that even the goal that we scored it was a loose ball in their area and Brandon Asante Dafum Eclair Edikoni Fasuma Niama eventually Niama Edrebo ya Caleb Ekoboshemu. So there was an improvement when the substitutions were effected. But after about 20 minutes in the second half, near San City back. And another ways to follow.
At the instance of the referee, so more defensive game another.
At the instance of the coach. Then they mean
to
mention. But near San City back, Nankofoni dominated play. Up to the time of Babara Man Subema, Nitanya ya, Yadebo fan who cross ya, Fufian to Ata, go for a TK. And then Yanshadan unsigned and put to pressure Abia because I don't know whether we are comfortable with the one goal. And like you said, they be coaching against some more or whatever. The other thing I saw, he said, Benjamin Asare, who's your last but one match or Koda goal, or you say, or my pass be, and a player be intercepted. And or Jishaye. Intia MSI or IG3. Intia and the kicks nina most of them were wayward. On located player. No abonitum Yensa can't find Yensan can't find. But he used to do that. In Dominican because I think what he did now a player and Jishaye no I affecting the confidence. Because in modern day football, the goalkeeper is more or less like a libero. Who now located players initiate attack.
Emma pass. Worse for the goalkeeper no. What's that? To be almost to the almost a ball.
Yeah. So you need to have a lot of confidence to time the opposing attackers. Exactly. Exactly. Goalkeeper who need confidence. I hope every point Mukana will be home. Or a very confident goalkeeper, and he did so well. And you know, those were the positives and the negatives in the game yesterday. And me feel say. Maybe I hear positive, no. Jordan Ayu's pressing for me was good. Brandon Asante's pressing was good. Senaya had a good game. Ajete had a good game. Jerome Opoku wasn't bad. He had a good game. Caleb Mu at the energy be by.
But man, Koku. Yeah, why it's not for me?
Your left back was the problem because first half Nina Nkofono will be over here on major incursions. Nanam Gideon. And Baban Subaya the same at the crewment.
Gideon Kofon came and
as a Baba never party. Oh, movie over Chinobo. Set it to know. Tonight is a movie Chinobola. Oh, this is just on a lighter side. But it was a friendly game. And the coach wanted to give everybody an opportunity. And for me, there was nothing wrong with my Baba. Just that, when said, Tamaya dribble, no. You should have put in more effort. I saw my one fan too easily. Already, who's going to afford you at him? Think about being over here. I go, yes, I go first.
If you have a photo,
but your minimum was your
now, tactical formation and all, but not the same.
Well, like I said, the first 45 minutes in India, sir, sitting back, one player pen and I pressing, committing so many fouls. No, who share opponent be a good free kick taker or the free kick in Kwame show be. And the first 45 minutes in India, I was in
pressing Semenyo.
And Semenyo Mobi.
Okay, on the buyer. That we are one of Moten Kano. Just analysis of the footballer boy now who are doing Chebia Fafa number is 0208 772 772 0208 772 772 0208 772 772 now what they are fast so now ya can cancel at the amount now mepa mo chow latest form a dance kind of media latest form a dance kind of media pato muntie ni ye latest form your partner for life. Mattress wo beda so ada so Ghana ha but senye latest form dia me pa twa so asema make ni na say muni ya ne kwache China for bi say wa mo ye mattress ya wa mo ye no ade bi materials bi o mo de ye no wo da so a wotimi nya spine problem na ade enti ha wo ntwo ni hwe ba bia an kwa say okay me ko try other one bi nso ahwe other one bi ani wo ni nyina nhye danye latest form wa mattress na pa wo betimi ato mattress bi wa cheap nanso na emwa wapom den meet Ghana safety standards no ebe ready no na ukoto atwanza akoto foforo da bia na atoforo me pa chaw latest form your partner for life mattress papa wo beto na wa ye eche na certified mattresses Ghana Standards Authority wo nyina agi atomu se So wo pe mattress papa all sizes, king size, queen size, double 1.5 Sweden mattresses, pillows, and they can nyina empo wo furniture and wo niema nyina no a latest foam me pa cho no wo nkasa sesi a wo number nie 0302 23 11 55 0302 23 11 55 and no enie ewa akra kumase number no nie 0322 029 365 0322 029 365 and so kumase for a number kwayen atlas wo bebia na koto ebone da form na esaye quality latest form so one try mattress ya wanu wo latest form your partner for life yenkwa yene honorable Kodwo Pong Nkrumah wono eye MP for Fonsia Yoruba former minister for information was sign eye former minister for works and housing honorable name memwache
so say
bako na wo
Onyame Ade Akye no pay me hoye pa.
Na the new publisher what the no o kaftan no blue one no the aba beto na watwe say the numbers don't match reality. Kodwo Nkrumah tells government na wo kan numbers no a de number nie and na reality no say the tie pa no eno so e de na etie pa.
Kwame da sem say ya wada ya besin koi na finance minister ba parliament or the kind statement or parliament. Na statement no okay no say Ghana a free IMF ni mu. Me ji say mu nyina kra mo tie report so si o a free IMF ni mu. Na se ya de ho. Na economy no se edina ne na so o mani sika sem dina ne na so nti ye mo aban no safo he. No kasawi ye no ena mama yaga majority leader say asem na waka no emobia emmohoa yenyanto ho na eno abrada ye ba parliament ya be kan ho asem ti eno e koy na Mr. Speaker ma e kwan say yen tire ya dream fa ho ti eno na me kasa em say me kasa asem we central for report dia me kan ni say di kan ye wo kwan fa say no parliament the minister be kan statement how the copy ma the opposing side nanka yesu akinkan mu no kawie ya nanka nyina ye gina ho ya to adwen this ndc for aba o maba no mo mpese obi be ka o mo asem nti statement no call dem no wa mo obi a copy ono ane se ni botom ye bisa for keti copy wa mai nti obi gina ho kan wie ye no na nya de obi e statement ni bi obi abetumi aka bi ansa na ono ane leader so san stress e ma ye nka ho asem nti be ye 4-5 days ni no asem o kan na da bonten a obi antumi challenge ye no sensem o kan bebre nye no kre by propaganda ni mo ye no ma be ka tum sa no mko hoping say be tonko for asum first of all nye no kwese Ghana ye free IMF ni mu nti
but ye free IMF ni mu
ye free mu
chemu kakra me nti
no ye kire mu parliament say ye ntro ye free IMF ni mu one ye members of IMF ye eku ye dom ye wo mu dada nti afie bia na brofo no ba say be ye de frɛ no article 4 consultations on be Ghana nkrata mu nyina no mo to aban no fo no mo ko na as members of the IMF no na 2022 abra so be kaya yare kofa ho kire bae ntokoi kofa fango bo course ro ma bibia bo course no kofa ho kire bae ni hie mo akaka ndi yesre iku a yedom IMF a yitua yidues ni bibia na yesre se omomo ye besia the friend extended credit facility $3 billion. The IMF boy besia $3 billion. No mo say gina yes say wo so mo boy ma ye tutu ye niam bi. No na ye dia ye adwuma mfie miensa ye niam na na ye wo se tutu ni yie no. If you asie na na akufo ado apens ya tutu ni yie ma so ababedu na. Se sa bosia no mo de boy 3 years no abawie. The extended credit facility no sa bosia na ye boy na no na ye free entrese ye free IMF mu. Esa sa bayan nkasa so ukan nkrata na ne to ho baabi no say o san de akɔhye program foforo mu IMF a no ye frɛ no PCI policy coordination instrument na we free IMF a den na san ko san ne 3-year PCI kan en kontomponko ani na da nko a because on person ka bibi ma ye obi de say o ye free IMF ye free IMF ye wom ye members of the IMF extended credit facility program na ye kom na no na aba we ye na ban we sign a new 3-year deal I friend policy coordination instrument and call my mean now if so na me ma bana so nti say that new 3-year deal na all sign and was all the parliament for approval under article 181 international economic transaction
oh the abadie
on from my sorry na no I don't know you krum maybe one so was all the na parliament approval under article 181 because the international economic transaction the only first point I am on masote number 2 any more masote say so I no pa and inflation about 3.4% and a dollar about 10 and inflation about 3.4 and a dollar about 10 now so say see chrome ni any Ghana folding komo bi so mo say e dey pa na mo hwe na senate ya Ghana for say rent bo akosoro say light bo akosoro and no na me kan dey bi mu complain say petrol ni diesel in fact petrol in particular asa
ni pa cho kosoro diesel cost 17 petrol cost 15 yeah dey mo ya
and the school fees a cost hostel fees and quality will buy a cost to hostel a cost enti say what do one no be say na inflation about 3.4 no could be some man for okrom say eniema omutua kada ne da no abedu 3.4% inflation and na say e was so since dodo na say their more numbers na more no any more numbers name match up say no na me tire mu say the numbers don't match reality because any rent a cost ne nyina mankania cost ne petrol cost school fees a cost ne ba hostel fees a cost now we be catch any say inflation about 3.4 we dey agro crop the bibia boutri
Timi Pacho ha waye obi a we economic person mayenti bibia se $1 no to the city now is strengthened in the way na eba say na sabre dollar no kura no da so gina de gina wo kra ne ma ba ene ma ni so te say de kan e cost 17 mu ne ade no nanso still omanfo ho e kire wo mu na amanfo bebu sase eye dey na say sika na eni kromu ana say ede be na esi because inflation ba from there say ka eye say reflect in our pockets and our day to day activities in terms of spending.
And yet the catch of it March 2025 say abawe and nada nkwa uso mo se mo kan opposition ene enne the aye koswa bebre ube hu se nada nkwa ebi na still omoye nti de omoye hu de inflation about 3.4 inflation about 3.4 no me ne enianum di nkomo oni boys etna si di nkomo obi aka kire se niema kwa na ekosoro. It is at 3.4 no and reflect it. Number 2, a man no kwa de almost sempa ni say omo de adwuma no mo nye. Ti say also inflation about 3.4 na dollar about 10. No nya adwuma. Numbers na okeka no ehun nya na anyway. Nti omo say stability na wo kan no it means little to omo ye jobless. Na jobless no na eno amede Ghana Statistical Service for data etro omo parliament. Say eniano mo sa wo chamber ha say mo di agro money agina ato is force na inflation about 10 ade no use unemployment and maintain mebu a eni adwuma no omo numbers na ekosoro quarter 3 2025 Kwame Ghana Statistical Service for publish data quarterly labor force survey omo say time and this aban ba akonya no so no now we Ghana maintain mebu a defeat between 15 and 24 years emu 32% or hanti mu aduasa minu omu ni adwuma 1 year down the line after NDC for spending the call spending nyina ye dede o ma ye nyina machi we nyina no say emu pija to do 32.5% kosoro omu say kire mu say greater Accra region nkurampo de e do 49% patriotism 49%. Say usia mranti na mebu minu e won kan bonten so a ba ko nya adwuma
na when enye ade e wo hoda daada ene na aba
senti na me ma numbers no time o mu so mu ene enne ba bia edu no At the same time now, Momo say stability, dollar about 10, inflation about 3.4. You to fall say numbers no more muhu, a juma no emaye. Especially mo flagship flagship economic program. One district, one factory. Say babu one ACC factories bebre na manyuma ba kofonya ne maye. Yetimia ye ne ma koton bi wa manone. Yedi eboshe so ye. And this is for one say answer nti omo ye dey on buy no ma close one district, one factory. And on the 24-hour economy, about 24-hour economy, there was said, it to me, Ejuma ba conform me and shift me and sa. Abifin there 1.5 years money away. To mean to them, Nipa Bakwa when you demand that 24-hour economy. And so, and then some company could not land and say, Ghana for a will trade Prejuman or Mumra Ghana, Nanda 1 trade no, Ejuma dos, meaning say, okay, any video now. Okay. Kwame, hello, Kwame,
Me pa cho me hwe pa.
O man penin could not land no, catch Ghana for one land in Ejuma, so Mumra Ghana, and Ejuma 133. So be an saying, no, Krawasi. Nti no ane ye san atwe o madwia begina sese ne anom saa de bia propaganda ni nkontompo ne yin amoye no reality no on the ground ne say adwuma situation e get worse nti wa sa mo kan sa mo ye friend say mo 3.4% ni sese kwa dollar nem say e ka ko 12 biom after ma pombo be
do 12 nya say e ka ko aye oba for biom na do 12 yeah.
This is after Yanani Ghana gold $10 billion a pompiegu market and so Asaya Boka 9.6 billion cedis our Bank of Ghana because of Saudi way at the end is Hakika Kosrubu Anka says can you be to me de abua ebi new money at the amranti and mebu binye biaye it is our stability ya uma assume credit net 3.4% or now say dollar bigina first now say 10 now I would say Kika Koto at the end of the day manti and in Yajumanye Omtifie still. No mutifie mpono de ya ne se niema no bo esa kosrobium. Na mabobo achiri na fidie de twa wo kra ne se ne otifie na onya adwuma na niema bo esa kosro nti se ne situation e get worse no. Wasa ya ko boka 96 billion se ono na ombetia. 96 billion Ghana cedis. Negative net equity of Bank of Ghana say yembeche magana for ombetia. Na only be more say asabo no krono. I was saying no. Omo the story beto abontin say Bank of Ghana dan no, omo beton. Na omo de ati omo kaso. Kai hunu say Kwame ye di kai aka kire Bank of Ghana for say sa maton no. E de asembe ba. Last year omo ko bo ka fumfam wo ho. Na omo ko ton Ghana gold ni na half e de take ano so. Unze da e do my account beto abontin ye kire ni na say Kenye gold na muton na nka bank ne policy insolvent. Muton gold no ne kano to TV 44 billion. It be 34 billion. Na 34 no kwa mutu mumi no 15 and 19. This year, o ma start idea so mo beton bank ne dan no.
Sadia no Bank of Ghana senya no kure. It's a figment of imagination and then it's a hard lies pa mus piu egu abontin. Na dan kwa na nanse ya na musie ni ye beton na sa dan wudi hotel kure nye yi.
Kwame, first of all, sa asem no enye minority and MPP ne kan. Nti so mka say yen yi di ntra. Eno de enye no kure because enye yen ye kan. News network multimedia for and the report say womu namfofo wa bemu aka kire womu say Bank of Ghana dan ye beton nye ye kan. And only first point. Second point ni say a banker say sa story no ni mu bia entrobium na ban di. Mami say odi enti entrobium na ban di. March 11, 2025. Right after presenting the 2025 budget. And a finance minister Kasiela Toforsen. Ebue nenum eka itre central for say Bank of Ghana sika semina e wo say ye disika ku wura mu no. Ono de onsusu say taxpayer na ntia. Nti ono de na dwen say yen ton Bank of Ghana dan no na infinity aka no. 11th of March 2025 no cancer asemi. Enti say multimedia for sign report say And we say after that, na Bank of Ghana, as I call Boka Biom at the end of the year 2025 now, they say, who could hear some the capital for Frobishim, G3 for Frobishim and Tentamino. And he said, multimedia for Echo Yen Jumbe catcher or say, or men who say, a buying ed discussing internally say, a dino yenton in line with their finance minister Kaye, yenton infinity akano. Nenumpono, a man chichimuaba between finance ministry side for the Bank of Ghana for no, but omo consider wa. Enyen kontumpo enye so bia bonisiri na oka eyo moa no mo kan in fact moa no mo say leak information ma join for say o mo publish it no mo fen test it Ghana for ade dem say nko for keke mo say debi we dey into me nyane sana eno na quickly o my statement abaso o mo kra nya dia on beton down but nobody can convince us say it is a figment of obi imagination because evidence no wo video evidence of finance minister nankasa ne no to or kasa yen ton down and some of Mako Boka 44 billion, at least about 34 billion. As you say, who could hear say, Ombe capitalize the bank in comparison come to down, and as I'm a tono, MY. Now the Bank of Ghana for Coton or more dying, edit or more car or more bonus wa. What's an ECG for Boka then on me? What's a Ghana Water Company for Boka? Send me Ubuna, it says, you come back to. Diversity at time and then you go to the DNA at all. Me is okay, maton way. Na aban ma ban factories akese ni ade nyina no omo tonton ye. So be kaya in some country ni ade nyina ye tonton ma aban mu mpanimfo sa time no. Ebi don person san ebium no. Enye dede Ghana for ye nra. Enka da hoko de obi hu ano maton. We kra na ye nyi ni se omo yi omo agyen fi so. Ase dede ni nti na omo gya to. Nti Kwame me mama semwa. Yet the Yasamo can say numbers no more publish say inflation about $3.4 bid at 10 into your mom suffer you know. What they to the air cost on the ground are a boy bra. The numbers don't match the reality. Now on the ground no reality say near Macbo a cost of living a cost or how the quadanda no imu ye de man for at the same time no so no. Nipana boss audition is and could be near you maybe I no or no creduma no nyebi. Now we are watching Boka Akese say what Boka wa German say on one corona wunya be man no on sign bitia. Ntia ban no ye koswa bono koko. Say 1.5 years muna okui. De bia nkontompo ni nada ni settings ansana machiwe no. Adoso omomo mani nko reality no. Sani amanti ni benye jumaye. Senia niema boa ekoso someone am say petrol akufo ado atiri modern ntina petrol kosoro enti ene ba ne se na wo breso petrol akosoro sinza e wa bra okra mpo say $1 na ba 10 e ba ne se na wo breso de petrol no akọ more than that nti inkontompo ne na da omo bi abrebia no e catch up with them na yen ye besre omo ti akonya so mfie nan se say 1.5 na ebe. So on be jai propaganda normal moment ni ako realities on the ground no one kagana nyina benya ho mfa so. So mo kofo asese sei na ombe ya ebe ma problem ni mo aye west ansana nyame ya dom na yenya akwanya yetumi aboa na yaka dane magana efi kwantin papa so nkomo aye di o parliament no no.
Na mama radio we de na meni udi ehun enkomo no se kanen wa se o inflation wo from inflation no in financial terms no en chese atete niam so na say inflation aba for my chese atete niam so
in inflationary terms no and I say in financial terms rather no
na make
ubetimi ama with technical definition of inflation Kwame the here na say nipa no tifie na oti wo hwe no say na reflect on abrabo. We say the ameno kasa me catch say ye kwa abam ye mistakes ye niam dis one correct. Who betimi atna wa bo inflation so inflation be do say 14 months of reserve import cover one there. I mean say nipa no tifie no and so when the problem be a mana dia wo ye no kra no wo ye na hiu wo ye dedegu na sum youth ya promise o medjuma ama mato nyoma ko campaign o kaya da yeto abawi se ne na nkofo dina coalition centers ebi kwa ye shinkrata ne ade because you know no ma kansa maguo masum se ayi obi awie sika ko trafie ni de ben nti o ma giedi ye se ora wa ha ye si we wa ha wakeka saa nsɛm ni na ato na to nti sɛ woba na sɛ wasɛm a wɔbɛka ne sɛ inflation aba 3.4 na ɔte fie ɔnyɛ adwuma ɔte fie nneɛma bɔ ɔkɔ so ɔte fie wasan bɔ kasa wɔn bɛtua saa aka no a dede na woyɛ wɔ n'aso nti Kwame mɛsɛn si so dua asɛm no paa ne sɛ NDC aban propaganda no ɛne nkontompo no adɔɔso ɛnora parliament me kɛsɛ mehu bi da fiti time a me papa Kwame Nkrumah de ba nkran 1989 many be fee ya me started here TV
Kwame Nkrumah
Kwame Nkrumah wow dinga ode me ba nkran 1989 many be fee ya started here TV yi JH Mensa money ade hakma usu ajuma money ade ya asafoma fu mujina TV so debate or parliament this is our time to be seen there medi politics me who da say parliament ashemra na Mr. Speaker abetena say ono na dwini mu no
ka asasemi na me ba so abebusa wo a wo so dia bayo yentio
say ono na dwini mu no yenko reconsider emra no na kwa ma mentre wade bi
say
kontumpo
wo which is say or my specific instruction for say consider bill no wan kasa mun pass
na yen consider nyede yen consider nyede say consider you pass anambwa
na kese ko ba na se paninu aba na ko be pass
na laws ahodo a oni ho a ye pass no we difference be no ma min tell de ekoso eye enkontompo ni na da na NDC 4 efi ase tam omo pretumi na amom to dead ma min tell no kino ma min bie kino ntro NDC 4 no mo nim say sa anti LGBT bill ye senia na patoti efi na me beka senia na emra no ya chro no na problems wo no mo nim in 2024 no mo share da pa se emra no ni problems e wo ho no yen fen ko hye na akufo adokon yen force ne so on sign no mo nim so ye mra nim ni no obe raise say problems e wo ho ni but yen sheda yen force fen ko hye ne ko na o raise problems na ya catch Ghana fo nyina say na akufo ado NMPP4 omo pe gay niema nti yen to abentia ho eno ni nkontompo ni nada na omufiase 2023 2024 eba no na omuye sa time no so be kai ono abo ani medu nti omuvu amendment kra so ahai enye na yensesa no kra omudi na temu ase papa no opege nti na o kasa no Sam George be di na tem sa di tratra so for okro manyinara nti edu baby no. Now even in penny for cry point near my wrong with the bill no. Omo kasakra obi si omo mpege. Hwe sie so penny for yi omo kasakra is omo mpege ntina omo kasa no. Ndi omo campaign for bebre kasa bo ahye omo yam. Obi de call Supreme Court ka say e man yen chinchen so no mo nye determination in wie. Nti abra omo try some dem man akoma na akufo ado no. Na akufo ado secretary Trom say Mudi ya we say asem ye the Supreme Court. Mun chairman Supreme Court en kan sem ni wi and sana mo de copy abre o mampani no. And if for the didi wo Nkrumah say oboa on person obesan na opege tie nto abenti MPP4. Enkofo bebre didi ye. But no mun nim say mra no senia ya chro no problems wo part bi. But nipa bone sem ni politics and pro na da politics inti sa no ye no. Na fi omo ba ben mu no and the sponsors of the bill no did the same thing e come out say ye di aba mon pass ni enfen komo mampani no sign me o kai say ba e no mampani di kai ka che Ghana fo nyina se o omo nche no no ankasa kra di mra ne be ba as a government bill abisin ne amada enada nko awo enada nko a ewie na Mr. Speaker say emra no ewu with the last parliament into just a share no foforo majority leader mama ya ga say ewu yemfen koma president in here say be sign no foforo long story short omo ye some dem ran be ba foforo team fojo Hassan Tampuli ni mpanifo aka omo di the same emra na problems ni bi wo ho no omde command na akufo nka omo try some de command na akufo omde the same member parliament say yen share omaye consultations ni na awie bibian se sa wo mranim afi ye ko parliament say ya wada o se den wo mo sponsor bill na nkasa no omo ni chamber ho Sam George yi Irene Ntoso yi papa ba ku Penny Bako di dia ya me kakra dia ye side mpenifo sponsor ya omo ni dem ho ye hu ya trom from the amendment mako 31 asasa mrano some of them numbers o ma sesa mrano na mi gidigidi inti mrika na ono obula safoje e de bedu floor no so o kan emu no sorry sir Mr. Speaker na mrano ma sesa ne ma 31 clauses wom 31 abia na mo say
but no one more ba ya no say a committee no kra mu nkrofo na ye chairman mu constitute committee nti bukas wo mu na asesa mra no a wo mu nyintum committee no ne memo sa wo mu gigi ye no ne ade no wo mu asesa mra nti committee ni nyina in one unison voice
Kwame ntro committee kra obi ene be move wan ya na move ye ntro nya committee be yo moara. At the time, second reading report by floor no. Na committee amendment be na na committee amendment be any. Omo no cost 31 amendments. Aba why be na shafe. Inti anaju once the senior omo de lumson levy ne be form one anaju ayi obi any ho no. Ana say anaju a ye be pon pa no de be form no. Sa no me we say 31 amendments. Na and no me say president of the bishops conference, Catholic Bishops Conference, me share no TV or say omo mpe emransi nsu bia se na mo se sa amra ne ye na akufo adon sign ya ada na mo hwie nsu agum na mo yi ne ma 31 afim na mo de new clause 9 na ba be ship eno ni juma omo di wo parliament omo pass wie ye no na mami mbie ki bi nkyerɛw se di omo pass wie no krampo no kana papa mu anka o se nka president sign anambwa.
And about the speaker can say intimate transmitting co-president.
Me be key natural. President Owenfa say no
our UK.
Ko any video and ra or call Chatham House no. No sorry and then answer or call Chatham House no ko any video and then answer president announce say what Chatham House say Mr. Speaker be kasa about the bill. Inti mrane de enye ready say e ba be law. Video no
see Mr. Speaker na just one na conference bi ana de
onyame nhira o no wo adwuma no ti ase wa bin e ba ne sen na Ghana mampani abra Mr. Speaker enkasae Ghana mampani to me announce say the speaker is going to make a statement oyere no hu ye because o mo di komo wachiri say Dona sa de nan keni sen kamo pass na me se mon consider keke na de na mo ha mo ko pass inti afi president ni di kan announce say oh na procedural errors bi wo ho na procedural errors ni Mr. Speaker be kasa ko mo bia ko video no Ghana fo nyina mu tie me mesere mo wo de o ye ndisi ni ko akona ko video no o mampani 3 days ago ono di kan say Mr. Speaker be kasa na procedural errors inti far from being law.
His Excellency the President no was citing a bill no and a committee report no was citing na ye na because emrem no yes devil no kra no onim what is in the mind of a person
because o modi nkomo wa chiri mi nsoro meka nti enra Mr. Speaker bae no enra Mr. Speaker bae no obey a statement tin senti opacho yanko dream hu bio ne nkeka ho ne ade na mti fiti GH men saka me hu bi da na nwanyumre na mahama yarega leader of government business also no there Mr. Speaker akeka ne there until bi da
it what is going on one only we fight there yi kan ye no na the speaker kan ya na a majority leader and na dey na cause
the cause only deliberately organized confusion give them an opportunity not to fulfill the promise that they made. So
but by deliberate organized confusion.
Organized confusion. Woma sheda achichire juma e create confusion among themselves between Mahama Yargani speaker, because the long term goal is say sabe oni de omunye ready said they anana Akufo-Addo no ko mo pe kwa de ahye ne kon no omunye ready so on this sabe oni be kwa President Mahama, because in the first place they are more passing on the floor no enye no na mo say yemfen koma na Akufo-Addo more ye 31 changes. And on the Bishop's conference, if you say catch them, say, "Mama, mum fadi insu be anko." In the second place, no mo say that Ghana for nya de mobile pass bill be o. Omo de ye ni see. I say enye. And on the speaker not you to say, na say man kan jira say mum pass. Na me say mo nya consideration. The consideration here ya infana. E couldn't give the and carry the house na parliament sorry. When me say parliament go break bill. 1 week break. Where?
Bill. Minim.
Fiti no ya journey 1 week break.
Mo kwa dey.
Almost on conference bi o parliament ho. Africa BBB conference bi nti nyina yen kofie 1 week. Nti nkom de bene nam ho sa. About a day we think nka enko be bia o. Apart from the fact o ma water it down no. Na yen complaining about it no. Ken nam ho sa.
Papa, eyi se omo be ye conference bi a international conference center se wo ho.
Speaker Bagbe Netia Kunyam, also the chamber near international conference. Me can put the holiday, means but the point I'm making is number one, bill now no musina na Akufo-Addo sign and yet no and no pass here. The more pass and your master near my bed 31 room at the cross 9 for be crab shim. Number two, or Muke no sister can put your signing, they are my passy, I was a call for signing. You know, my creepy or mankas on who confusion when to speak at the Fabunkum, na majority leader they are funny fan. No, the chum who frada. President na assembling be do name. No, one became petit agreement who say procedural errors into far from becoming law. I was saying this is what I am. Also for I would be ya now feel MPP for Nana Akufo-Addo na person or best signing Nana Akufo-Addo ne pegi ya. I was saying this is what I am. A man saying Mebua Mutisi Abontin. Say na MPP for na support LGBT. Mo say this is what Adam. Omo best kamu sa to the very end. Sa agenda friends say 133 24-hour economy. Ma catch o say NC da. Because o can krata ani mo no de o maye na omo anka se nim. Say yen kuntumpo ne na da, but o consensus so e convince Ghana nkwala se wadwuma no e ba. 133 juma back on conform yensa and a 3 shifts. Now we a brand here, now we people now just have them we di. Say NDC Akate was obe more juma 133. Inti yengu one district one factory initiative nanke bi ba ukrum nanka wenye biaya etojuwara. Inti the cause for parliament a deliberately organized confusion in their camp to give them an escape route, not to put before President Mahama the exact same bill that they wanted to transmit to Nana Akufo-Addo. And the Ghana of one will say Nana Akufo-Addo nenye said the Trimupoboni and Ajin Bonibi. They nada ni kontumpo the scam that the NDC started and one or more was why. Na senkamuse ni papa mua ade na bill na musi Nana Akufo-Addo signing. Mumfa the same thing Komajo Mahama. Na first of all, Mwasesani ama take one room. Na muwe ya mwasa mwacha muha organize that confusion we say. Na key na so manpanini di ka announce say procedural errors in speaker ebe body enego ampani no yet them speaker by no say ade no kra na you son in 9 now son in sa I feel they do baby speaker say there was no consensus na da be na parliament ya di consensus nko na yejuma parliament say corner say consensus anya ejuma Mr. Speaker Becker say all those in favor say I for the can we are say the ayes have it nay for any nya say the nays have it yet to swaba. That being the Bay issue say there was no consensus in Tino, Ranukra and Beya Yenchins inside. Omutuna say dead, you know. Na me kana ho bra sie ma.
Ono mama na se na me senya mpama bibia na ye beka sawai.
Yankopon ka ho me da se.
Me se me da se pa ono mo kodwo pon Nkrumah. Woye MP for Fonsia Rebi. Woye former minister for works and housing, former minister for information. Yene no atwetwe enkomo K101.7 ni. Me pa cho end point homeopathic clinic ye de ne ho adanse a ye ni danse amfere na asem ni nyina nie obi a yare ne chronic disease yare kwankro no fabra end point homeopathic clinic no to yare na so ho emfamfiri wo emfama me pa cho yare bi to say hepatitis, diabetes, yare bi to say eniare, yare bi to say inflammation, yare bi to say or spine problem, yare bi to say or ulcer, yare bi to say or diabetes, yare bi to say bema uno ba kompemu enche no waje me yare pa, yare bi to say wo dwonso a ese dwonso ni bi akam wo ba chima chim ansa na dwonso no so atumi aba saa ne me nyina no okeka bomu na kire se oda se ni hu kire no ba wo saa yare ma mo yare di na nche se Dr. Duboatin ensa saa yare no yare bia Dr. Duboatin end point Duboatin clinic osa ne enie wo ba ahwe wa hospital wa odi afidie siw so afidie ni kire ba bia problem no wo na afidie na twaduro dia ma wonu ma ne ko obi mfa ne yare ma end point homeopathy clinic na Dr. Duboatin betu yare na se ho e de afiri wo e de akọ ama wo ho so atọ na wahwe wa wie no ama homeopathy no any side effect homeopathy no any side effect or spinter so share signboard akra tema computer to do afere wajan se ko straight to Port Garden full sound to the clinic Kumase branch no Nkrumah bohia Angel education school na chipe takwade branch o Wanaja police station na chipe wa bi obono tachiman hayin swa je number no na fred Dr. Duboatin won wan kuta number na friends ya 0244867068 0244867068 0244867068 last one 0244867068 end point homeopathic clinic Dr. Duboatin number no enkomo we yi aye bedie obia manaso emenha na ontie enkomo no pa na frewuni aso se ontie ye ne honorable Ahmed Ibrahim MP for Banda, Minister Local Government, Rural Development and Integration, Religious and Chieftaincy Affairs ya edintintin my pa Minister me watching. Na bako die.
Wa me nya me ne mo pai bonte ye ho ye.
Yes ye da se pa. Ochina June 4th. Na ochina yenim se ka June 4th dia. Ebra yewra Rollins wone mpamfo won mo eba ye ebetu aban ne gu ye niema bia ne nkoyi enti na wo mo hyase se ye kyekere wo man no kwan soronkoso a edi yedie ene promprom ye ebeba na mi bu akonta bibi ti se local government ye ewo ho ya ene wo ye osoafo hei wono enam ne penso ena etumi ebaye ene niema hoduo bebre assembly mafo se ne mukura mo baye asese mo hyase atua o mo ka na assembly mafo aye twetwetwe wo ma akese ebaye mfoni be na betwa kire yen wo mo na wo ni ho awo mo so a wo mo nte ho abakosem ene kyena ne titire wo mpasua so ene Ghana so no se na obeka no efa the celebration
Yo Kwame mamenfa wasidi so na menchia etifo nyina mefa so achia Ghana man ene wiase afana nyina de bia meka no no so ni okay FM4 kasa na so ni amanfa na kasa because ho ene obia etie na mefa so achia Ghana man penyine dada His Excellency former President Jerry John Rawlings awanya ne baby ko nebusiafo a omoda so etiase Kwame enye nwanwa se ene ubisa se Jerry John Rawlings unya krosu any of the four corners of Ghana na unya free Ghana the last week I make I say na me nuanom MP4 bi Swami MP nom na ye wo Azerbaijan MPs ni NDC MPs na African region yakosia Kwame ye ka say ye free Ghana pe Ghana osi JJ Rawlings and Kwame Nkrumah. So two presidents stands out. Unya cross.
You wouldn't say Azerbaijan so no one a stadium no one to the power of funding Azerbaijan mine and step near the idea ne bibia kama pa.
Precisely Kwame. Inti ya ko well urban forum ewo ho. Na ye ka say ye free Ghana no pe. Nipa omudi kambo ni din former president Kwame Nkrumah. No mu wiye no musambo JJ Rawlings eka ho. Ehon na meka kire minia MP ni se. Meka se wa hu. Ye Tigana this am penyimfo a ye pese ye omudi kitikiti. Na ye bu omu contribution no abofia. But the truth cannot be hidden. The whole Africa and the whole world, the Uka Ghana, they look at Kwame Nkrumah as the founder of Ghana and one of the best presidents the world has, the black man has ever produced. The same way, Omosan former President Rawlings as one of the heroes, African heroes, Nisu Mata. So clearly, these are the people we should learn from them. Now, Kwame, they will say the descendants, political descendants of those two people, and Omwabeji Ghana ACO. Only himself Kwame Nkrumah Ideological School na Atanosi Koye.
Yeah, me I.
Kwame unsa Atanosi ba ye ne economic indicators ya or produce ye until say John Mama abai na obia entimi break sa records no. Now say John Mama so ono so ye JJ Rawlings political descendant. Enti na me no ka say Rawlings ya o chichiri Ghana after Kwame Nkrumah no. And the political descendants who call Council of State do ajaho ena eche se who call parliamentary Speaker Bagbin ena eche uba the ruling party ase dunketia ena eche na uba the presidency John Mama ena the president. And all these four heroes were political descendants of Kwame Nkrumah JJ Rawlings. Until their Rawlings be no upeu it cannot be hidden. It's a living fact and a war. Now Kwame me did June 4th no by nothing I'm at 5 years old. Aha. Into all this I'm telling you are normal yasia every bookum. Na Adiba Kwa Ghana yanya dewo.
My son you when with your soul batoy. We no go sit down with them cheaters every day. There be that.
Kwame and that 2 o'clock ya omoba be all those videos. Ama yenya ahe. Into me no ka say your organization very tight for the past 3 days. Even communal labor. I'm sorry, communal labor.
Hey.
Say Uba Bana Nkra for the past 2 weeks. Nanano mu asankunya asora gina wa ye communal labor say June for eba. Enti Uba Bana Nkra baby ati wan Kwame. Ene ama manya gidie bi say Ghana focus on be Ghana here we can do it. Na ndienti America we nyina ne se Kwame no ma ben NFA so a June 4th ebae eya bi no ka so June 4th no de eya soja ban na be put civilian government etugu ye eya say Kwame Nkrumah eni ji Ghana for call independence in 1957 from 1948 riot Wasing commission by 1951 and a internal independence in 1951 and the actual independence in 1957 and a Republican status in 1960. Kwame, from Republican status in 1960 on 24 February 1966, na I was a soldier band to go about. Then this soldier band to go no a buy. Kwame, say in one party state in this no money na yem penny na Kwame. If Kwame Nkrumah were to be alive today, nanka do obenya the SSS, but yenya this year ewum. Kwame, ye ya after Kwame Nkrumah in 3.5 years, ye sign a call civilian rule in 1969. Buzi Abaye. Kwame Buzi Abaye
within 2.5 years na they say Abantu go no asaba. Na Kwame Abantu go no ba ya abuzi aba ya na say yesi atiye ema refri. Na say yempanyin for no were returning back to black man in white man rule. Na say we were going to rule like the pre-colonial time na time of no more colonization no. Enti ama na akati for esikafo ACC ahia for any omo ni bi. Enti Rollins ba ye no. No ma ben na nam so Rollins ba ye. Kwame, I was just 5 years old. But the story must be told. Unim say ye tu Kwame Nkrumah bangu ye ka say ni nguma kwa ni books kwa ma ye nkan bi wo Ghana.
Almost bebre.
Kwame, will you believe say ye ja Kwame Nkrumah books no e na ka ye kin kai ya. Ka ye be who the do's and don'ts of politics. And I can be in leadership there are red lines. Who cross any of the red line woman for everyone money. Now SSI you took Kwame Nkrumah Abangu SIC in the books in Inte. We didn't know the steps to the revolution, steps to the liberation, the roadmap to liberation, the severing of the liberation, how the people were able to organize themselves. This are no money na Kwame Nkrumah we didn't benefit from them because you see na. And no more and doing for no so Kwame Akati for no every time to say almost here for Kwame okay for to be golf.
Me kai pa.
Enti sa one magana for who say abambi bae. And now ye say Soja Bambi by NOye say Kwame Ukai Justice Aban Electoral Commission.
Kind pa Justice Aban Electoral Commission.
Justice Aban Electoral Commission Johnny Fan Pumam. One Ukai near name of Johnny Fan Pumam.
I mean him pa.
Now Ukai Abaye 2 year Aban who say you declare Obelusu and or say Yan Ko Ewak said you name Kokai.
Aye.
So all those excesses Ghana Yayeda. Na ye no na edi ye ko do safer ye no na amwa ye na esai oman no enu mu na se o president ko agite ko Cote d'Ivoire o pe tale wati asa agite ko Cote d'Ivoire o pe ntuma fra agite ko Cote d'Ivoire o pe sardine tina pasa no my essential commodities enu na so 1948 riots no o soldiers no e ma say shortage of essential commodities. Yeah, independence here, there was another shortage of essential commodities. And no and President Rollins said there be the for the Anamakwa Ghana mine. Now Kwame, with 22 years after independence, Yenya 3 successful coups. After Rollins' June 4th, no Kwame, how many years in it?
Hey, Akye
47 years in it.
Akye omo weke mame.
47 years in it. Now 47 years no mono Kwame. Rollins aka say Ghana should vision 2020. Ghana should achieve a middle income status. Kwame achieve one and achieve ye. Achieve. Kwame oka say Obama nkwasi Ghana kwasi no abeye urbanized. Kwame as I speak to you, Ghana we are almost 60% urbanized, 40% rural. In the Kwame, the gap between urban and rural, also before then, now majority of Ghana, it was 20-80. 20% rural, about 20% rural, 80% rural, about 20 to 25% urban. Kwame, minu ukasai, adia wa krabia wa banaha bibriwa, uwa wenchi abiwa uko Zuarungu, Laribanga, Azim, Eflao, Elubo, Champa. Ndiye ubenya na Akabia Kwame biwo anamibwa.
Ani.
Kwame akati fonu ka se akosomo se odi akosomo try. No di dru kumase sunyania tamala akosomo ebebo.
Eyi wo de tie kwa ne se baby ti se sunwan en tamale. Eye 5 Lieutenant Rollins and the national grade called tamale and sunyane.
Kwame, beyond that, and also because almost all the district capitals.
Yes.
Now Kwame, on the case self-help. Buahuna by Buau, Tayafakani Amokum. Kwame anamibua.
No cry. No communities no etimi procure enua no eye post no. Na mu procure wi a na aban so ne de ewo mu no aye no ababa ya mamu. Aha.
Perfect. Kwame, beyond that no so Kwame, before say one is member no na Ghana, only 15% of Ghana. And na wa akoso mu kan ya anamibua.
Yes, no cry.
As I speak to you, about 90% of Ghana electricity.
Only 15% no na enyamakane a ye generate ni export ni nyina so Cote d'Ivoire ye de Togo num ni ama hodo so.
Precisely. Enti Kwame Rollins June 4th na odi baye no eno na baye Ghana electricity coverage etimi move from 15%. And we are talking of 88 to 91% in Ghana here. Ubi na dinu hubo afodi o. Kwame fanu to nche Kwame unim gini wem.
Ethiopia minister.
Yaka gini wem asa unim.
Hey! Ebe ha gini pa. Ni huka kwa me hunam nyanyame. Enyenze.
Precisely. Kwame yena na yeti kronti to aso no. Insio borehole ya ene obi atimi to bi woni fie. Kwame na borehole ni ho. Borehole ni ho. Inti insio mo sane nipa ni nantie ena na enum fom insio. Epesia na ni nyina dry. JJ Rollins ba na o ka say there be after June 4th no. Or see water for all. What is okay water for all?
Water for all program no yes. Aye.
Inti water for all program no.
Water for all no kwa no. Actually mini Febek Foundation for ye koto to bi kra wo bolga eno ne hamle no ne areas ahodo.
Exactly. Inti na Ghana fana na kronti to ansia ne pa benum enu ho inti fomu nsi na ne pa enum. Enu na ma mfayare no ebaye. Inti Kwame me ka say for 7 good years FBA na mfayare no attack me. Inti water for all policy now JJ Rollins edibaye. Any social intervention, self-help electrification project or the buyer, any arms card or the buyer, any structural adjustment program or the buyer, any free compulsory universal basic education or the buyer, and none so
where you back nam ye focal person ye friend of PAMS card program of action to mitigate the social cost of adjustment. Na me wo mampo enti me na nam ye focal person ewo ho.
Precisely. Kwame yes, you know your interview now, because you are a living testimony of what happened. You lived it, you felt it, you saw it, and you read it. Into when you politician be a fan from one who can ultimately trauma you.
There be for that thing there, me.
Precisely. Ente PAMS card na a buy any structure adjustment program, a buy any trade liberalization policy a buyer, any liberalization of the airways. One is okay, Radio 1.
Radio 1, yeah, Radio 1. Yeah, Rakubo Bedia.
No, only the another Sky Radio.
Yeah, Radio 1.
GBC Radio Ghana. Enti, Sawanya Radio Ghana, Radio 1 News Lantia, Kwame Nkrumah News Ghana.
Na bo 1 o'clock so na mu ohie 1 o'clock news no
o ya DC here SLT DC bi ko on antatimai o jiji toa ni driver tika mo sai yi na di woni su no
samko
driver tika mo DC o ya asin wojomo sa Radio 1 asin news no ya yi na di area
Radio 1 GBC Radio 1 eja wajo
Rollins na on liberalizing airways no and FM NIT FM UTV TV3 Ago TV Home Base DCV Pan African TV there Accra FM Kwame, you have liberalization of the airways. Kwame, what the government?
Then easy.
We need to talk for Ghanaians to know. And I was a church Ghana for MOBA who the Ebaye. Any baby a June 4th from your fire, you could do it. So that we may not belittle the June 4th. Kwame, yanya misa. Yebenya another generation of leadership. Ombe cross the political red lines. Na yasa ko tibiana na yewo mu a. Enne nyame aye yadum. Ama yatinyansia nyansa mpanyifo no tiase. Enne June 4th mpanyifo no ebi ni John Mahama o. Inti John Mahama tio as president of Ghana. Na okoye bibi na okata me ministers no. Mi ma obia nye we. Emma obia emfa abansika enye sei. Odu sabo abansika mu a mepa na se o. Asikira no ni se onim se emre bi baya mpanyifo no di omusik nsa ebo abansika mu. A ekofa oye ne bi baya edi ekosa atibia num. So uwo Speaker of Parliament is a bagbin. Now oye product of June 4th. Now Okacho said there were political red lines that we should not cross. Now our political party chairman did say Johnson said don't get here. Now oye pulling agent Emma Unikoff. Now and now oye chairman of the ruling government. Now of the cabinet. Now Musha he will be able to tell you that there are political red lines you should not cross. Who will lead that decide Eduardo Ajaho as chairman of Council of State? The president in A2 Anamobi na Anamono and the California become to ya and the June 4th ebaya. He can bring us back. Say, me two president for say or two Anamo ya MYA. So what we are getting today is because we are beneficiaries of the June 4th. It's because the June 4th happened. Yenya who be edi free mo. Inti Kwame and near Japan say June 4th was outlawed. Kwame, even the Holocaust is celebrated Anamibwa.
Yes, in Germany.
Kwame, even the Rwanda genocide is celebrated Anamibwa.
Sanete ba enko force. The reason for say on what law no the excesses of the revolution and they are not kind of paya it after National Reconciliation Commission no etna se fra be for ba money na ho akohia say ye outlaw no and no what did you saying
Kwame, how many people lost their lives in the Holocaust?
A million. So
how many people lost their lives in the genocide in Rwanda? Kwame, how many
millions
people lost their lives in June 4th? Only few. So if German, the economic superpower of European Union, if Rwanda, the political and governance role model in the African Union, are celebrating their harsh answer, on what basis can somebody tell me, say, June 4th, because of the excesses, can you compare the excesses of June 4th to the Holocaust?
Oh, Debbie.
Can you compare the excesses of June 4th to the genocide in Rwanda?
No.
If you look, you see, there are certain things sometimes, if June 4th was the last among all the revolutions, June 4th, Kwame, after June 4th, how many years of democracy have we gotten?
Oh, after June 4th, no say, 1992, any abenya agreement.
Yes, we are around 30 something. We are in the 30th years, 33rd years of democracy.
Sure.
After, the fourth Republican dispensation. So, if June 4th was able to give us that opportunity, on what basis will somebody come and be telling me, say, oh, June 4th should be outlawed? Kwame, into the who will be free the 24 February 1966 school, no? Into the Nkrumah, anybody like a Kwame Nkrumah, Ade Akye Abia we should learn from our past mistakes. Anna, Kwame, will you be surprised if now in the Department of Political Science in Lagos, the Omunya course be now the best and the worst government. Now say never again should we have a government model that will borrow like Akufo-Addo did, that will govern like Akufo-Addo did, that will take the economy of Ghana from B to a junk economy, that will collapse indigenous banks, about none of them. Unibank collapsed Sovereign Bank collapse. First Capital Bank collapse.
Heritage Bank said Wagongo.
Yes, collapse. So shouldn't there be a government, a puppet in the University of Ghana teaching us the worst SSS, the worst form of civilian government, where there is a democratic dictator who will collapse indigenous banks, collapse indigenous big men, make sure that the commanding house of the economy is taken from the hands of Ghanaians and given to the hands of a single family. Shouldn't we learn that from the University of Ghana? So that no future government will come and govern like that. It's Kwame. Baby, we need to know the democratic dictators and the civilian dictators and the military dictators. Kwame, Ibrahim Tawari, is it not a military government?
Sure.
Is Africa, the whole world, our brain not celebrating Ibrahim Tawari now?
Obi Abonidin, Papa.
What President Rawlings did for Ghana is what Burkina is doing now. So Ghana is far ahead of Burkina Faso. What they are doing now, Ade Burkina Faso, in 2026 we know, and on former President Rawlings, 1979. So compare. So there is a vast difference, 47 years between Ghana and Burkina Faso. Kwame, when soldiers were carrying cocoa from cocoa farms, when students were carrying cocoa from cocoa farms, when everybody was participating in the governance of Ghana, and no Yatinyanya middle income, Kwame, and I mean, enjoy you.
And sanity.
And it was a military government full of programs. Say, wow, pants card there. What is on in cash flow?
Hey, cash flow. Coco.
Kwame, say, we waka sap, waka cash flow, waka pants card, waka Kwame, water for all, waka free compulsory universal basic education, and that Obia Timika Brofo. Kwame, first, you know. Yes, Obia free Srembia Timika Brofo, but Uber Southern Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah Tikese.
Yes, oh, there be.
But and both Southern Ghana and Northern Ghana, Obia Wakosko,
that junior high school concept, no. On the buy, I will be promoted from the polytechnics into tertiary institutions.
Science education
On the buy,
A-level science.
Huh?
How many people know more passing?
There be none koi.
Obia to me passing. Which your science in India was squad. Or say M point, teacher no plan to me for correct M point, mama. O failure the chemistry teacher and for correct M point, mano. Chemistry teacher no plan ba o try dey no plan M point no won calculate. No dey science students no. But and Rawlings type of education has demystified science education. Or the Jesus concept we buy. Obia ko Jesus ya now one 11 one 6 1 now into ko SSR Ghana school for FRC science HNS Kwame Mibua. As I speak to you, the children pass more science than more arts. Yana religious studies, Bible, education, history,
academy is very big.
Bible knowledge. Kwame, what be you?
Kakra.
But Kwame, but you want to be way no more through.
Aye.
People like you, Kwame Misramwa, Mungi one baby. Now educating Ghanaians about the good aspect of the revolutions Ayanya Ghana and the good aspect of the various presidency of Mwabako.
Rawlings buy no. Adia ba ko na enye yakwan. Kumasi to Accra to Kumasi. Road ni nyina nye Mampong. We free Kumasi kwa Asante Mampong. Let me take you almost 3 hours. Man for be kaya. Kumasi township na kwa ni nyina nye Rawlings na de asphalt. Baye Kumasi road ni nyina no Limes Bow. Na wo mo German company na wo mo ewo Sipebu okrom ho. and okofo mo baye nti Rollins na meye hu asphalt nyina ena wode kasajan baye ebeye Kumasi to Sunyane ena Limesba for Interbetin for enso ebeye from Kumasi sa to Mampon Adwira ene de keke ka ho ebeye Kumasi township ene ade nyina ai
Kwame, the true integration and the true unitarism of Ghana was done by Kwame Nkrumah and Rollins. Kwame Nkrumah the boarding school by Enekaye Bomu. By Rollins brought Ghana together from Accra to Tamale, to Nabrongo to Boliga. Kwame, okay, so we say, Damu to say Kintampo Tamale Road.
Hey, na demo na Boliga crowd the end there. Who say free Tamale ko Boliga mileage near 101 miles. Now who say Damu and curve cranim. Sabre no asphalt sa one way you about to car tracking because now we are that.
So only sacrifice for Ghana. And these are things that we must know this. In Tukono be cast at the SSs. Why should we be looking at the SSs and not be looking at the positives? The good aspect of June 4th to come and was a Ghana for him. In Tiobiba, I then Ghana for Fair Rollins Junior Jesus. When Rollins Junior Jesus.
JJ, do something before you die. JJ, do something before you die.
Only one man to you know. Rollins na to you no man who announce Ghana for na to mano.
Ghana for na to mano.
Na wanya bibia nka Ghana for to you no mano. Kwame one afro Junior Jesus.
Na mimpo die.
What is obi afro na akufo ado Junior Jesus da?
Mente die. On so anyi no onye junior.
Na Kwame so what is na the political opponent friend is Akios.
Ah.
Ojit kwa bobosia mana friend is Akios. We saw all those things.
Eh obi kwa de ba ku bia ba wo se project bi e ba ye Global Sasakawa.
Kwame Trafalgar Consulting Company.
Trafalgar. Hey, Trafalgar. And now office no ba ko wo Kumasi ahensan ho. Trafalgar. No mo be abatwa
consulting companies e buy. Omu no see pavilions the whole Ghana. School ni bia onya baby ko school. So guy.
The whole Ghana ye no ye see pavilion ni wi a eye kakra na ye communal labor ni etwa blocks na ye dia hyehyem.
Enu ne nam so the literacy rate in Ghana now, the illiteracy has been reduced and literacy rate has gone up. So things like this now, don't look at the SSs. They were thinking so you can't too much about June for NDC will be popular. I mean, and this how it's not about who should be popular. It's about who did what. Why and the year there? This is what people should be taught. And it will not be wrong if the June 4th, the 66 schools, Kwame, the path to revolution from 1901, Yasantiwa War, the colonization of the entire Ghana, Kwame, ye frisu na ya struggle to 1957 and ya sako di yehu fahudie every broniwo. From 1957 to date, the various civilian governments and military governments are umwabako nyina. It will not be wrong. Say ya best ya umwabako sem ewe school mu. We need to know. Kwame, mimi namwe, if you come to my constituency, I'm fighting water, I'm fighting poverty, I'm fighting electricity, I'm fighting education for all. All the policies are June 4th new policy. That is what I stood for. As I speak to you, my place is becoming part of the urbanized part. Simply because that has been my strategy. The role is ending in Hubo for the Ghana. Who are MP, I saw do Hubo for the Emma constituency. Who are minister, I saw me do Hubo for the Emma Uman. Who are President Mama, I saw do Hubo for the Emma Uman. And I never President Mama or China Waha, yeah, Cobo Ball, America. Or so, Mamma Moon says, Suso just Bia Enco, Munyai, Nayanko Bomra, na yɛmfa sika no ntisi schools yɛmfa sika no nti kanea yɛmfa sika no mpɛ adwuma na ɔmu so ɔmu nyɛ Kwame, what will make a president to say those things? It's because he lived the June 4th. He saw the June 4th. His father was a minister, and he has been a deputy minister, an MP, a well, Kwame. Enti abekosem die mamun kasemu mayensia.
I see. Ona muti ochina no wo no bana inkuro program lineup ni say
Kwame enne 2 o'clock ya omude June 4th videos any lectures no be so. And you koye JJ do something before you die. You koye sa videos no. Na ya say how was Ghana? But Kwame we will lead it. Me go school Kwame I'm just 52 years. But na me nam form the school. Mpabo kwa unya bi say Kwame only makami life.
Ay ka oto no.
Mpabo bia e ba ya na friend Bluebird no.
Bluebird no. Bluebird dem wo akwa na mpesa ateche beyem ti owura na ade akuta na do na tintim fo.
Kwame wo ye guy. Kwame Nkrumah never die. Kwame wo ye guy. Kwame not ya class preno and
na manenka ba ku biem so ye bia na enkofo wafi. Chama Rollins buy no. Na ka e di nipa be free akomiamia na edin. Accra to Kumasi no. Ubedu circle no eye articulator ene si wona e load nipa egum edu o mako utia usika na de atwede ato na wafo na utrim saa de Kumasi fo so ebe ya de na sabre no koko a ewo hinterland no kwa ne nye nti ye nya ka akwa na de akotwe abakurom ana ye de akwa dwama fa koton
precisely
it is okay say koko evacuation program so kwa buy
Kwame koko no na Ghana for ya bua ma ya ga koko no e na esai ewafu.
Say wafuom an.
Enti oba ya odiko ya bikom na meba e na ye koti university for na ekoti koko no ba.
Yes.
So Ghana edikan for no muye omaye bi Kwame it is a fact. Enti say ya nyi we antum na tem dia ye ti o say because of the excesses of June 4th nobody should speak about it. My yenka June 4th for baby Kwame. That is why I hear you to do say political officer say unyaska. That is the cause of corruption, greediness, and unpatriotism now in Ghana on Siciliano. Kwame, are you know how old was Rollins when June 4th happened? 29 years. And these are. And then the family baby will be 29 years who didn't call political officer one year. The same Ghana. So we have a lot to learn. And Kwame and ya the lectures no be so. Na Ochlan of Vice President Beba and in penny for General Secretary National Chairman Munyana Eba. And to Mobana ye program na ye was so cutting view of any other things I be. June 4th is the foundation of rebuilding Ghana. That is where the fortunes of Ghana were restored. That is where the road to middle income, Vision 2020, was set. That is where the structural adjustment program was done. And that is where the water for all was done. That is where the self-help electrification project was done. And that is where the Ghana through reconstruction, linking Ghana up, connecting every country and every regional capital and district capital to the national grid took place. So the story of June 4th cannot be overlooked. In the Kwame Nani, me walk at you.
Mama, na was na mi senya mpamfa man why?
Me dazi pa Kwame. Me
Ahmed Ibrahim, MP for Banda, Minister for Local Government, Rural Development, Integration, Religion, and Chieftaincy Affairs. Okay, 101.7. So, in part of my for Winfem, will be all the on Gaye Diane, say a restaurant, say a school, say a choba, say a Diane, and Wasikwa Hoton, say a fear, say we program be party, engagement, birthday, near the Ading Nano, Modi on Gaye. Muguso de onga ye munuane na papa say onga force wo shemo ni munyam wo de ongalicious abin wo promo wo de aba na de tie nie wo yisika 4 million cedis na 4 million cedis no achede ewum na sika nso so ewum na wo de abaye na betimi ewura mu ne se ube submit 20 onga powder promo sachet and I said 20 onga shrimp tablets promo wrappers. Na what they call any onga redemption center be a bear war na fe uko do on by my scratch card be uwe so number ube hunu boko star 713 star 27 hash na win instantly. Na cash prizes no it be a 200,000 deep freezers, smart TVs, kitchen appliances and more. Na promo you shall see 15th April and a day kwa pim 15 July 2026. And you don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply. Na ena wo de ba akoko an chese on fa bi nko obetim di bi akwa anti achade no obedi bebre Ungalicious promo, ungalicious promo, ungalicious promo, ena ode aba. Nti wuti 20 ko na di bia, besa chira beta di bia ko. Ade cha besa di bia ko pim se promo no ebe ko ending. Ongafo ena wo so ene edi nkomo no. Okay 101.7 so eni na e chira ye June 4. Na mamenka kaimo eniema awudo bi. Hwe ade a ye friend probity and accountability. Former President Rawlings and Adebaye kaneno wa bobi betimi adisika obi enyeru hu be nei sani nyina accountability ni nyina aba in June 7 1979 former President Rawlings can sembi June 7 makoto date no mungugina mo hwe was we need moral revolution. Was the Flight Lieutenant General Rawlings, chairman of the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, has said that Ghana needs a moral revolution to solve her problems. The outcome of the moral revolution, he said, will depend on the masses. Was it said, and since I saw Bebebiano, a big Gina Nipanua, or yet or tea or mine emu, and tea, and also asem and no. Okay, 101.7. So any you better didn't come over here. Honorable Fuseni Donko, were ye Deputy Director, National Service Authority. Yenny Jingo. Honorable Mimoche.
Kwame Nkrumah Tikese Abia doing.
Abakwa here.
Oh, yes, you are dumb. Would you Munswe?
Bakwa pa. Na Galia xenophobic attacks. What South Africa ni tire iki. As our president.
Kwame Nkrumah, because of me, over the prophecy by coming no.
And yeah, honorable prophet Fuseni Donko.
Okay, so now me know because I'm a catcher say. Abanye ya waye na nimya ya se PTA dues no.
One way. Ampa PTA dues ni tria yao.
Kwame Nkrumah. Me catcher say adi omo yeni nyina no. E foka say omo decide no launch omo politically. Because Nelson Mandela Obrebano he almost said, oh no, the domain he was a freedom fighter. Jacob Zuma no a freedom fighter. Taibo Mbeki no can freedom fighters no. And now Osha Nancy Yamuso Nipa was rising through leading of protest. Abeye Nipati through South Africa. Julius Malema. And you know Zulu Foni Bino a question omutrim say o pese obeye ni petit through South Africa just a would domain ye whether justifiable or not this is yes animano and see also make say aside the omudi Asian crofo businesses how the bump mrema e kana operation no omo said that omo mpejuma omo ya kwadwofo omo nim nanso obi etimi bomodia team fifre se na djuma wi a no mu de nibre e de ye yankoi akwa gini pakora djuma apam no. So aside the criminal aspect of appropriating people's shops and people's businesses no, the end game ankasa ne say omo mu tay di anim no, the rise to political prominence. Enti na ono Jacinta na gina mu a o pese yes ye hu say on the ye
sabi me fire asanto afran to no na abaye ne de on me ya asanto abia aye no hu oba akụkọ ni a odi anum yen ka sa on na ye bibia but unfortunately no esan say omo mu di ekire dodo na so aje wo fom nti no they see her as a hero and say na what started the post there but of president you know
no South Africa said the tie no wono are they ripe enough for a female president?
Kwame Nkrumah ebere onwanwa pa say yebeto abana sa abaya ne benya bi ebere onwanwa.
What reason?
Said the Ghana for sebi ya adwia kwa anim no sebi Ghana ni awan ko school kra no na adwi mu do enti South Africa de no bro ono no tifie Kwame Nkrumah onya di be say 18 years even 16 years e ko no otifie onya twe kra na edisika bre ne say je etayo aban bo ohunie esan so wunie adwuma obeyenti gisika we na kodi ni free enti no right from sebi teenage age no they are not taught even how to fend for themselves. Yen chiro kwa yemfa so yemfa ya adwin engwinin fa ade hu no communal spirit nothing. What you say? You know, I don't know how to even put it. Actually said anya adwuma. I just say ka credit on the cost school. Na no kra wa ko school no. O de Ghana ni a ono na fe no wo best class 3. E de ko jina South Africa ni a ono no wo best JHS1 wo ho. Enim say omu mienu nye logical reason na Ghana ni no class 3 ne baby chino. So that is the situation they find themselves in. And you know, omu nya hu ye yenko obi di domani mpa omu nim so sani pa na ya ajenkwa. Iti ebe yo nwanwa passes abaya no okojina ebeto abadi biama no. Udi agro enka yezuru fo nko na eto abana udi agro obawa be presidency sia. Tabe yo nwanwa obeba be ye presidency.
Aba wo mo so dwala kakra se ese ye no kra no were too hyperbolic in reacting to the purported xenophobic attacks. See, I'm coffee at the shame day. Nature said, as a Yakrank, one more buy a minimum channel for Anka, President Mamma, Wababano Farman, I'm woman.
Who say you were, I think, say, we are dear. Near Castle Jai, no way in Jaya, who be a giant after a show. Yes, I dear Beto.
You can't tell in the brothel.
So, over the years, no, we dear. Na, or Mumpenny for Omomudi and your friend from your mamma Bissika, your promising the positions near the DSS positions, Niger, at Wecha. It doesn't any near Bemana or also. Sabi ase jawsi me chasu into them chasu. Oh, the least expected a sovereign nation to react. You know, ye na nke ye na di agiyedin. They didn't know said there were consequences. Na Kwame Nkrumah say me catch say politicians penifoni bi including the president Ramaphosa omo nyina ka ho bi. Omo se akire. But the least expected say, who say Ghana, it taking the lead in everything that the whole Africa reacts.
Who's the president this year? Sir, one of the Okwanya day.
You know, no, who say Ghana, you can't have independence and African countries do one idea. Ghana, it's where Ghana, the fear is that, there be gateway after there were 2 gates. Oma maka nyina be yebi after all the nano Mozambique for blockade over 5,000 tractor omo di twam wo ho what is about one and so keka omo ho what is Tanzania so keka omo ho ye bra pani ala tan so keka no ho ba so immediately oma kwatra say say over 2.5 billion a free Ghana eba no ye di agora asembeba. It's a fair na politicians ne from say hey.
Was he about 2.5 million in South Africa?
There be $2.5 billion in South Africa for free Ghana and South Africa.
True, I'm company sawa.
Yes, even over 2.5 billion because and only even friend say go for some kwao.
As I contract in the same go for so say one way you would that's next month I mean fam one be.
Ah, I said Kwame support it. Before so. Papa nyefi abone nso nyefi. Afi na omo say ade na be kan yen. Because me o man 9 minutes that say ye man pedi be ka say okay mate. Me nkasa me nyam ka kai Ghana ye sabi ye nye sa nwure mu niam ni bi say ye ko buru nkrofo da bi ye ni ye. Na mum ye de ya ko school. British abrofo no man ja ye hwe kura no mu ja ye ntete ye pa. Ye ni ma toro eni ma kenkan etemrase. Ghana eba mra ye timra chen Africa nyina intino mra kwanso yakofa ye nkrofo na de nti omuyam sisi omu ne se ugo de dame dem me baba ufie oso ye hwia wabo no ubeda ba me ko se uba beji ugo Kwame Nkrumah ayem sisi abeto omu sisi no iti de yankasa we yewia Ghana for ma ba nyina no aban ne be de aban ne be ne se omo ya gige omo japade nyina ne omo businesses no ne asa kuruchire no so egu krata so kama ne de akọ South Africa foi mo je Kwame Nkrumah Tikese ne barbering shop $50,000 yesra mo de sika ne be ma ye ana se no so mafa tiawa so there will be compensations so you be demanded. Inti afedo mo hunse eka ya bafie. Inti na afedo mo yam sisi omo no. Inti overreaction omo kan nyina ne se ade ne nka ya agro ade na mafa ne serious. Na wo say ya agro ni pasa. Unu ofetia na wo de hunsa na tra ne nsayam akoduru na botwa enye yi wrestling na pesa onu ofa ko.
Ahai. Wo ne de kuntintan agro.
Anti o so no su gina yi, nti yam fi gina yi. So whether they like it or not, they say quite the among prince ye place need to cry about the fire and cover among person be makwan alande. But no cry omubua. Ye ko fan ko foni dia o we dia.
Say no say ye flight ko fa wo ma. As wo mo tuo. Why?
Ye boni bia mo de ne cry den. You see the eba no.
I see. Now when you know what we say, Mami Musa Nansa, what did you chile? A year, court cases are air core, Wutie, Wankasa, Ochama, Abronye, Unia, was said Diana, Abanye, yen bay conditions in Unia, the idea, a persecution. Court order say on file it, ni disclosures, cry na fe, Wamusha Senior Semno, was a persecution. Na bibia wia obeto aso akoso akasa ene chama wuntumi de no so a ekọ no nkrofo bi se da bi aban mama case no ekọ ntam de da bia wo court ne kura se wo court ana mo yesa muntom
Kwame Nkrumah enye pipi fo na na se ora na ya azan
and yes
there is nothing called oral happening. Now fe oral cases in so called ntema me hu asem ne pu masibra mo se e kontem dodo ndi se anti before yenya omodai ma mo se ora ya e kan e scam e 419 yes yafe cases under oral you say edubu ahidie you want to meet die about 7 cases e court nyina ye oral cases and no so kwaso am say boy ade na mo rashi cases no asa mo pentema ade no nim se na asa mo court no so pentem ko gina sa o petama na di Kwame Nkrumah ana ka strategy ni yehu ni nyina
ano strategy be no
so kwa ye national chairman na mu anti se court eko bua na asem ni ku
o te se obetia mu se Ghana for mo sorry o menye aban contract da menye menye board member da aha nti no what say na board number ni contract no age bi ba na mra kwa so na je
na me tell say na ni refi say waje aban sika okwaje aban sika ka say aban ma me sika we me de kodo afu amawa oni aban aye contract no na ni refi say aside no because aban sika yetimamufu sika and also aban sa o sika na odi ato ho ma matimamufo no fa say sika ne mame na me kodo afu e di noba ye na ba se de be ya e kombe ko form wo Ghana na aban ti asese ampa bi di sika na ma kodo afu ni na fa aburo ni bremia e contract na odi aban akọ. That is why it's an organized crime. If you this sika no one kodo afu na omuwo bofu akura ne eduedu efu ko kire ezin bank fo se wo fu ni abranye wo fu a wo cha ban tro wo bo abanya sakro no nti mingi aban contract that you obo hwan ye de manso nkwanta tu anyan kwanta kwan hwan ye de ma no enyo no a ahono kwa de nyamba ho
sa ye de ono na wo ye manso nkwanta manso nsanie manso abore ndi ho nyina
tu anyan kwanta kwan ono ye de ma
na be kwai atia fa obonkum onam de ma no
ono an ye de ma no ahono kwa de nyanko ho
mami musadio ebinum so se wakoje bosia wo Exim Bank one se ode ba bedo afu Exim Bank fo no ena se wo mini ni die na we ye de na ayire mu ata ni tiri nya so de awodi ade ye kire twetwan afede to so mienu yese mo pese wo be fa form sinti ena mo hye dade ni gina court na mo pese campaign kuro obeye bi eti ene da bi abeba ba num se obeba ne se de wo num gi aduro ntete wo gi aduro anapa ba akon awia ba akon
Kwame Nkrumah o ze medical kire o mu se uko twa ntro kire aban na wo gi aban sika brofukasem ye obibi a ye fe no organized crime ne eye e de batwi kasem a eye nyansakro no enti oni asase oni afu bia wo baabi wakoji nkrofo land title e de abekira aban se o mi wo saa asase we eda ha mi pese me kodo afu size sei enti me equipment ni equipment na ode kire kura so wakoto ana so wakoto no eye ubi invoice na wapapa invoice na ye ni receipt eno dia beda proof formal invoice no waye ni invoice e dia bremo so hu enti ekwe de kire nyina na se o se that na ase e hye se me ko twa aban entro na magye aban sika abon nyansa kro no enti na enye CID ne di akire because nka ye bank ne neka so abo mo kro no akomba reporting to police station na police CID akofa no but when essence say organized crime enti no ene ma yoku abam because o sheda efanyansa kwan so e twa ban institution entro ene di gi sika sika na oji ye no ade o ka so de koye wan fan koye. So that is what makes it an organized crime. And a organized crime in Sudia, da yuko abemu kama as a zebra crossing or them fili.
I see. And your mamma nas na me say nyampa fama why?
Na it's not you for no baba.
Ne. Me when my dear I am yawo. Chama Rollins hu.
Debut.
Ye ku no. Obey ya chama ya for ayi. So say sabe na e friend Chama Rollins.
Yes.
No watch bi. Na e cashew na e black. O share me boss say e dance boa. O de watch be mami. Mu of e ko wan fa mami.
Na wa chichi ni mum. Se ka ni chichi ni kan na ka be fata o.
Ani chichi no.
Chama Rollins chichi ayen collaborate yes
chia ne nsamoda say
every osha obi ogina obi otimi hu etu e se obi aho yansem nsem okrum ho
no osha wo a wogina obi an like an X-ray. Ubi bia wo.
Kwame Nkrumah, I think so Ghana.
Na o ga say yes what the jet you know jet fighter. They go uru adomi bridge na so say the pie.
In fact, Ghana is creating unique no. We are very creative.
Means no win as Obia me wo as a cultural officer of the Ghana National Cultural Center. Some stories we must preserve it. Obia contest say no kura na say no kura. Abrofo no de ni ade ni nyina stories ni bebre wo Bible mu nyina ebi say ya.
Yes, say Ghana for you ni bibia ni papa baba be bomb Ghana nyina.
Ay. Ya obaba bombi Ghana nyina.
Seriously. Oh, in fact, and my Ghana head there no. In fact, and as you said, you know,
Mami na was na me say nyamba
creation. David, like you said.
Thank you. Yene Honorable Fuseni Donko, Deputy Director, National Service Authority. And yene no atwin komo okay 101.7 no ba bia ba na yen hwe democrata no de ono so ewo maye
yo Kwame medase democrata no me chance de free daily graphic democrata no emu na wo share front page ha no mo a Michael Kwei and actress story e de aba e na wo chemo ese enema bi ekoso ya sempanyimfo anhwe entumu na mo a ebe ha dwen yi pa na wo chiremu se aban asigina ye bi ya se ginaye no ode tabono ya emfie duntem ode atoso se mo bia enkra roba emfia ma no ne emma omai Ghana mu na so ni pepi pese sa tabono no a abai ede ato hono mo no wo mo etietia so wo mo ebotugukura no wo mo ankasa efa mrahye wo mo nsem na wo mo eye ni wo mo epe na adanse epie mu ese nipa bi afọ wo mo ho na chese kuntuna se na wo mo na mo a wo mo ekra roba ibi ede eba be gutema port afen so adanse a ekire se nipa yi asesa sa roba no a chese wo mo de ekotema port wo no mo tituru pa ese wo mo export e de akọ Ivory Coast ene ehonkro ne ba ne no ene duedue mu a ya daily graph democrat e chese wo mo nya adanse a chese 40-foot truck 40-foot truck ya registration number ebo ho no ya GT 9315-25 ya won lodu roba yi e de agumu ena nanu memene danyame ya dum wo mo kopie mu ewo briwa barrier ya eben mankasim ewo Cape Coast winiba ekwantimpon ya so ena chese yeko ejina wo mo na consignment no na bill of entry and number eka ho wo mo ehuye afei date was 29th May 2026 ena nkrata ekita wo mo no eka se raw rubber cap lamps ni ebi ya wo mo import every Cote d'Ivoire ya wo chemu se customs receipt chese wo mo tua 5,997.78 duties ne taxes wo so wo mo ede ekita wo mo a eka wo mo ho na prosifo hwehwe mu nso echemu ese wo we consignment ni mo no na custom document title na wo mo bisa ese ti cargo no wo mo ede kohe wo mo chemu se wo mo de kotema wo mu chemu se rubber potting raw rubber nkasa wo mu de ekoho rubber processing factory yeah whatever and wo mu de ekoho no mo na eno nam so ama aprosifo etimi ache sa nipa yi ebi na wo mu che ye no na prosini eka ho agent fo ni bi eka ho na chese wo mu anam kokwam kwan so na wo mu ekra sa nieme ede eba enkrata bi so a daily graphic democrat ebomu ese na wo mu ehwese nkomo sa beka no nyene nyina na ewo ho ya wo nsa eka ya we ensem a eno so daily graphic democrat ebomu amane daily graphic
na wonim oba
David Kwame
wonim rubber no de ye
David
no na ye de car tie
oh
pre cover wan sa o car no bebo akwa esi gushi nare
na
rubber din ya de hyehyɛ mu no bi ne de
wow
ewia se nyina no wo pe wo ma omo rubber edi ntinti man pa ye stronger
ye papa
papa one more premium rubber one more 5
sa
5
na kwa me den na ye data abuna to yen yise me nkra wo ana ye bi wa ha ye produce bi wa ha
Western region
bonsa ties wo no
eti na om di bonsa ties no ko
because who say how say area no ye dua rubber ni bi wo ho
no one ya koko odua rubber na say problem a womanya wo mu ni say ye wo factories wa ye di produce niema
okay
and Indians ni Lebanese fo no afa akira kosim then say there's a ban on say we better on an exportation of
rubber no
said ye be ya local industries no e benya de aye adwuma nti rubber no eye niema bebre
okay
eye niema bebre
okay Kwame mame to so e wo kratofa to so dumiensa daily graphic democrata no emu Timbila Joyce Timbila Awini and actual story e de aba and wo chemu se bru emfie aduasa enie efri bra Ghana ye de ho ehye kemenka bia memu emu na bibre mato ye fam ha no se de wo pe wo man a kemenka bia memu no watinti mu agye mu tinti man pa wo sumu takrache pa de a wo yo man Ghana se nche amini mo man bia obetimi ne Ghana etimi agina Ghana yete so pa ebo yensa na wo koye kasache dwumadie sunku bi senior research fellow Oda Institute of Statistical Social and Economic Research at University of Ghana Dr. Kofi Atechi Asante and chairperson na wono so eda National Commission for Civic Education maame Kathleen Adi wo mo ekokasa ye efa citizens and democratic consolidation in Ghana, rights, obligation and duties na wo mienu nyina enkasa emu no ene wo mu kyeremu se wo mu se Ghana ya gentinti man e wo kabame ka bia memu mu yie pa ye gina ye nan so a ye sumu ntakra kye ne ye kabame ka bi de oboa ye te so pa mbra so die ne hyehyɛ ye kama na mmom no uba fom wankasa ahoyehia o manfo fm no ano oden wo se ahokyere pa ahokyere de ahokyere fitai edokoro Ghana fo bu ho no mo akyese obetimi asori da mu ni nyina na aduane ade aduane kora no ebi enkana no esan se woni adwumaye ena kampese wonye sika ede ato bibi ena afen so no enye no nko a gidie ya o manfo no ewo ye mpanyimfo o mo na ebu o man wo mo na chichire o man mu no so no sa di gidie no ayira afiri ho no mo kora ena mebu na wo ne na montene bachire se wo mo nya adwuma nye obi awie university pa wonye adwuma enye enti na kyese wono afato no so ebia nkrama chembi na je wasagu ne saso no di traffic mu PK no oto traffic mu kamfa no oto traffic mu ni nyina ye mebu na wo mo nya adwuma nye ena amasa ne manyina akwakoba na ni nyina enkamfu ano wo kyere se corruption pa akro no awisam adokoro yense no kumboa no eno so edi yawu pa na omanya yede kabima menka bia memu ebo ye ho samra ne de enisenka sebesabio den ma babunu se wawie suapon eti den ma ne so obenya adwuma aye ena wo se yetimi yi ye ho efiri corruption ehun sensem ene ade emu ena ye mpanyimfo so no wo mo hyebe wo so mutimi edi so se ne be ya gidi a omanfo enya ye wo mu bra wo mo ye campaign ne ho nkro ne ba mese no sa gidi no abekoso atena ho no mo ebra wo manya tumi no na de wo mo kan no so no mo de osie ayoyo wo kyemu se sa ne manyina ebubu enti ama ye kama me kebe amemu na ye se yesumu ntakrache ya gimu ntintima fan ko wo ho no mo de na so niema ebua maka mame kebe amemu ntimi gina yie na omanfo nya esomfa so no yade atonsuom wo my Ghana mu de sa mpanyimfo eko ye kasa chedwedie na wo mo ebiebie sa ne manyina eso na ba kwa me de etwa so bio Samuel Ohene ewo na actual story edi aba say the pensioners wo mo fu hihire wo sansa tadwe wo mo ateden ne Kwame ne eba ne say Social Security and National Insurance Trust Senate wo mo edi telehealth service bi aba ya wo mo de ebema pensioners wo mo awie adwuma wo mo akwa homegie mu na wo mo edi sa telehealth service no womo ede ma won na womo chese nyo mo nko na yes adwuma no woni National Health Insurance Authority and the Trust Hospital and akabomu a edu ye pensioner na wo fie na wo hododo na enyema nko yi a ye wo line na wo be frɛ na doctor attend to you online doctor attend to you send ya ho ye wo na ne se wo be kwa akoye tester na wakwa akoye na mmom no se no na bekoto so doctor ne be prescribe no e de amount na wakwa akoto na chese timi aboa wo mchese we ene fina ba ye die na and that's our service no pensioners ubetimi afre to free number 0800-877-555 and answer ube dial short code *929# no wa request for consultation it will verify was net number no Ghana card and answer Ghana card number no National Health Insurance Scheme status no na cheso ma schedule appointment at the amount na wakwa ko hu general practitioner na within 48 to 72 hours no obe return wo call no na ne wo ho bia anso no wetimi achirechiro wo call medical consultation prescription for medication any NHIS approved list ne ho kro ne banyina no ni nyina wo mo ebe take care of it we a pensioners medical scheme ya wo mo edi aba Kwame
oh ya wo me somra ye ba nkoma wo do ye bedi
Okay. 101.7.
Yamenu ejaba boni di adwo ama wubi eti yamenu afahin na mahwie fufuo ti ase dada minya wofoi papa so ba fie ni anwie fufuo ya asam aba na so oben wadi fufuo edi mpreni ne mpresa da kro ba ye di ni ehwe fufuo a akwade wo nwane
adwo mo adwuma se me ne fie adwuma di mini fufuo kakra ba wo medie no eno to metwa da pasa aso wo kanya matiri nyira
what ate na make am meboa
ebo de odi komum na se sia de obra to otwa fufuo ai wo wodwo mo pam na wo masu na wutimu aba na wo sadade na wo temfra kwada ne nyina tuatwa make say ya needful sadaroma wo bia mani ye pa ya wa ya mbode fufuo ne mankani fufuo a wa ne powder wo de gu da kama ya yefra no needful fufuo
enya no bi na masori ba ntilizi kama me di ye yo
sese bia
ma me hwe oh bia needful fufuo eya kama say bode fufuo ne mankani fufuo papa bi na wo ka say twan eposim na ede na me so kan so ancho simanu pe no wa wie no ahie wo kwa papa bi aguso
be chese de ama mani kura agisa ne fufuo ho ama ko tobi kura ba ne se de Ghana for sipom fufuo no eno an wo ye nu enti se wo hwa fufuo won pam wodrom ne we nu a wo ho susuna bia wom wo nso de bode ne mankani fufuo papa bi
ejanie eni afi na fufuo na afi na wo bedi pa ne se de wo bedi ne se ne wo fa mojaduro ano pawia ne anadwo a wo koda
need fufuo e wo fi a eni gyenko a
FDA agi ejedie nkratoi atum.
Hello, my name is Kwame Nkrumah, and EcoBank would like you to know that the undertaking and plan system are great nationwide. All EcoBank customers are encouraged to provide their mobile app details by texting or calling 0500,000 247 within the next 3 days to avoid losing access to the account.
My name is Kwame Nkrumah. The voice you just heard wasn't mine. It was made with AI, and the plan system upgrade is fake. Like play. Charlie, could have just been scammed. EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details. Pay attention to the details.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Kwame, mi ya umuwao. Me ba penyi no kane no ni made pa. Na so na se bua no obon. Me dwene ho amenti ase.
Na so we dey simple kra. Fa no ko White Stone Dental and Eye Care. Na yen check in anima no.
Oh, jai samani abrewate. Me ba bo na me ka asma chwas me fa ne ko Eye Care clinic.
Na wonnim se enkwada bi wono mo a. Wo de sua enko yie nyina no efi wani. Akwada bi wo a abra teacher ni kira de no. Won hu ade ni yi. So wo tie anima na so wo tie akire. E ba ne sa. Fa no bra White Stone Dental and Eye Care. Nye nhwemu mfa na ni no bia entam so yewe ne asia no ama no
ayampa o na sekro ne yade no eba emonka ye wadwe yo se bibia ye fine wo be ko na bibia ka ekina wani sei na sekro masate se wono momoja broso ne esiche yade no aya na momoni yade pa
sapepepe onipa bia kra no afimu wankwa check up awani ho kra no enyem prenu White Stone Dental and Eye Clinic say fa wono wabusu anyina ebra na yenye hwehwemu emfa moni ene mo se ho ohaw bia no yebehwe na yesia no de amamo ye wo abafu mfidie ultra modern diagnostic machines ahodo a ye de yesa nhwemu no ye dwuma efo nso de wani wote enti ba yebeje wo fel so Stone Dental and Eye Care ewo East Legon yebe MTN office kese no free was 024-225-1983 and 024-045-2992. Stone Dental and Eye Care. Wenni eno kania.
World Cup fever no abo na Electroland Ghana Limited e di stadium ni je ni e ba ofie we dey ya tete nyama ni nyina so ye pese wo go bia pefe na wetimi abage won so asa wuti stadium hobby and entini e bro discounts e was Samsung, TCL and Nasco smart TVs ni na ma match day bia nya we ni jeda na beji ye powerful air conditioners and ye coolers ye top and bottom mount chest and display fridges no gas cooker so wo washing machines microwaves and ye small kitchen appliances ni ye keka ho nyina when the football promotioners so power fimu ka ho na ko ye showroom any anamo si fa wo mo Ghana fa na nyina ana friend was 050-315-9738 ubetimi so akọ www.electrolandgh.com Electroland ye the stadium no bawfie
Efiura me mo chi o Efiura yes on
ma chi o Efiura me chia wonye so
hey ewura enfase mam so what e ba fa se chia me mo yem no
won so pepe
hey oh wa fi we die me pese oni Efiura bekon Efiura we die ye kwa sore bo ewura de mo kwa sore ye bo paye ewura de ka so ho a what e be se wo ba hwa wa kraba kumpo wunya onipa da sane timi koto this way chocolate drink no ne yire ne ma edi nsuo hia twabia nom anopa no wi a wasade bia hye fridge mu wo mako school pon a wasan ba be yia nom eni mpore se ne nka ene twaso mu pa ene ye rekore ne Efiura beti ha anopa dio ewia dio enimre dia mo no makodew mo mame na mu wi a ma sora akotena so ndem se ye kosum na
Mese na dia ya late nso me yanki kabinche Efiura ye wi ya kwasere body pache ke Efiura wuti fia se light we no water bi ba wuntua bi wo bo se sika na ne fa koto this way chocolate drink na ba nom
hwe me catch no play fa say this way chocolate drink no metumi ato bi pa na so na me so mo ahwe what e de me hia ne nsuohie na nsuohie so me ntoi se me bu fura metumi ato bag mu a what yeah Efiura we nko ade ma abunfu e ko to me
Efiura fi de ya bre ma abunfu bi
munyam sumponie na mo ba ya trimodefo
FDA agi ejwedie nkratoi atum Okay FM 101.7
Okay 101.7 sundie abusuafo yada so ati adwam Eco Bank force men kan kire wo se usika control wa ebra so se wankasa wo control usika Eco Bank mobile app no aba to give you power to control your money out by transactions 33 African countries ewo wankasa phone so Eco Bank mobile app no wankasa phone so e na fa wiase ba bia command usika no kire se wo phone so no Eco Bank app no wodi betimi atua water electricity school fees ni ade nyina wo betua nyina eka na wadi atimi dia create virtual cards e dia to niema wankasa wo pe so money commander no download no e Eco Bank mobile app e wo app store and as a play store now we are commanding usika command ni kire say wo pay attention to details Eco Bank mfre wo say fa SMS bra ana ebisa pin ana one time pin OTP na mekan bank card ana say Ghana card details so as say wo adwin kire bia ne bibia na wa friend number yi 0800 00 3225 0800 00 3225 Eco Bank the Pan African Bank mami fa we mfem na fe yentu ankomo so mpachaw edro we emebi mpa ho da ye fe na S7 herbal balm S7 herbal balm na S7 herbal balm no mpachaw say your joint pain waist pain neck pain spinal cord wa chiri bremo no eya wo ya ni nyina waduro ni S7 herbal balm de na satata swollen feet waduro ni S7 herbal balm inflammation na sasabro de bibo so nyina waduro ni S7 herbal balm afetie S7 herbal ointment ɛno nso nsansan wayi wabagisa ne nsansan na ntɛma pɔpɔm mpɔmpɔ koko ɛnde ɛkeka ho nyinaa waduro ne S7 herbal ointment nti aduro ne yɛ mmienu S7 herbal balm ɛna S7 herbal ointment pharmaceuticals chemical shops ahodoɔ nyinaa herbal shops nyinaa bɛnya bi atɔ ɛwɔ ɔman yi mu na emom ebia baabi a wowɔ no vicinity a wowɔ no na apɛsɛ wohunu sɛ aduro no bi bɛn me anaa ne nyinara number yi na wobɛfrɛ me ba bɔ number na wopɛ no dodo atu a ne nyinaa nso wobɛkɔ kwabenya abomu junction ɛwɔ akra ha na wafrɛ number yi wopɛ aduro no bi so ato a wobɛfrɛ number yi baabi ebi wobɛfrɛ saa number yi a wopɛ nsɛm bi sa wobɛfrɛ number yi na yɛtɔn bi wɔ Peace FM Abeka Junction Peace FM Abeka Junction wodu security for no wa wo se wopɛ S7 herbal balm anasa S7 herbal ointment de tikese ye ho ebo ho dawuro no ebi ato na wo be friend number 0244 94 67 78 0244 94 67 78 ebi 0244 94 67 78 S7 herbal balm and S7 herbal ointment eyedu papa make ho asem no de na onim se eyedu pa bomode ne kope bi yewura Kobi Mensa waye former parliamentary candidate aspirant ewo Ablekuma West na ye ka wo mo a wo mabrewa NDC mu pa oka ho wo be kai me kai manfo adwene kakra ebra yewura ET Mensa eba na awo no na Sam George pese wono so gina konyan mu no na yewura Kobi Mensa so ogirem pa enti ba wo mo a wono abre ama party na ba power onye easy ye ne ntwetwe nkomo na asem bi ato no ntia na asem no so the Bokrata the Ghanaian publisher. This is a witch hunt. NDC man fumes over hotel demolition. The okay nyina nie was we enye ayi a ye hunahuna me ami party fo hunahuna me adan a ne hotel a wasie yakobu agu ye musan ka kom ye gine kwaku anum age Kobi Mensa me mo ache
e so ayi pa tikase
apomboko na wuso
na to me ye
si afa ene afa nka ne yankase obontensofo emefa nkodi ade ba ade na wo se wo ankasa party for ade ye wo ya bebubu hotel nom ne ade enkomo no te sei
Kwame en se ni pa de sine ma o join political party na wa start enu ho o ne ma de bi no because na okay start join political party since 2000 since 1996 and I mainly honorable you say Masa in the country coordinator and I 6 years in the corner in Nkrumah so the court and I step down me buano into my son I bet my way for so many years older than someone commission see 1995 and I was a figure method on 1997 one of them I think we both at more.
Now, what tell me next year, na as no to 30 years in
30 years in. Come, if you can buy me first house for dance man, 95, 31, 32 years in. Come, some for cemetery, and down the quarter of no, no many tambos and a fair wall. You see, my house, no, almost more than 2 pots. In the process of no, at the Hara, Mikoya said, Mikoya, it's a would I be my boys, be not almost a share money. But she come back from US, that was 2006, and Mikoya more so. You do a game for some register. And now, I need to catch them, say, you the call out from school register, I was almost so. Almost the letter from the same pay. Student for St. Prophet for the tour, and me, I'll take Obo, but I better to one lawyer, Poku is the last commission lawyer. And I sent to you go to because almost some knowledge as a without them. So I have to go back to the Sempe Palace. And then we go home more info. That was 2014. And almost you go for Kwasa so I'm cautious and I say Japanese so. No more you BNT. Me I do to born a moment as a simple person for money. I'm a 20,000 oh that was 2013. 2014 I'm able to na the bar and the call Lands Commission. Me sim register. And near little boy you Buffett and only make call Lands Commission because always without their presence you can't register any simple to land there. So we need a lawyer Poku and on agree. So we start the process. And then we a letter from the Lands Commission they call Metropolitan Assembly. So I'm cautious say that the assassinate any problem there. If you let them respond to a Lands Commission, I have the copy right now. Say the whole residential area. And I'm myself no problem be anything. They didn't confirm say water lodge and ADD. Let me register Kwame. You are assassin land at the Biawa. Even and then answer come me koye search. Emma a case near meeting assassin or Kobema Sadimo. Kwame then never you know NDC for my co-families and Koyi Emma Yenya NP Yenya Yempima and almost time. After the election, I you say a Yenju go quadru in almost call NC may campaign manager the late honorable Aponsa near Aponsa but won't buy you. Almost a contestant say officer OMC. When you after you have been seen and now I'm going to buy a platform since now no you really emphasize no emphasize it you should come comments of the first operating business for big more sir if I post this I don't know no taking it serious about 6 months ago me no tell out and so stop no friends for Nibuye and me and this million and MC in this man on Bubu in a good I think your press conference people now done a phone here only that's my thing for our national and almost on the council. I'm there 2 months in, and I started to say, my husband at that one, my second kid, now the most 15 years ago. 20 years ago, me a concrete miss 2 friends for them course. So, me better friends for my project for inside. Kwame, me start saying, from the nearby honorable Lindoku, Ayaka, regional minister. Ebebia yet to say no, I have won. Meaning, mammy, and papa fee, 120 meters, 120 meters, 20 feet, and I will come assassin. You know, the same way. One of the enemies, you deal with Nadia, it's facade to me back. In the news, it's my assassin over 15, 16 years ago, Miss Phyllis Superma is super and coming home. It used to then coming home. That was 2017, 2018. Me call and me come say, hey, your tumble for say if you pay common to S120. Mama, you got a case assassinate. Oh, call him assassin, condemn assassin 10 feet. Can I have the document here? Media in other court near commission assassin. Tumble for you got an almost assassin 10 feet, may the same assassin. Call him Mancasan, there's no gutter there by then. Kwame, Mr. T. Maui, and then in the crew, Esma, Nadmofona de Bao, Emma, regional Nadmo coordinator, Dennis Nina Bao. Omba Macansi also, a pure guy Benada, first for the tea, or baby, a messy dying more than 15 years. Guy Bensanti, mean Pian Gamma assassin, 3 feet, now Homonia 6 feet or Kwame Mancasansa. Me sa friends ones and we the senior down with you. Kwame Nkrumah me san senior den. Me san so ebubuye e me stone by. And now all bombs in them is an form of me some baby bubu no. And my portfolio the ma the national chairman is sitting kitchen say the uncle time go media party me be here. And also okay or will so me friend Mustafa Bani. And me friend Mustafa Bani also okay. If you friend Mustafa Friday that was a year 20th of April, and if Mr. Fan was okay. On no, Mandianopa, Mohona often say, we didn't say, only Mushi talk so we no discuss with any offices here. Kwame to carry Madame Bakwe could in your office. You call not by the chain of obedience. Offering yet, you are the first. People are always see where the office. It's a thing common or see a sewage dinner as parents and say, you come in a minimum dada. But I know what we see in a bon commonade. I don't know, can't only Mushi. Ah, my name denied the make action and say. Sanity, as you know, any way to go, also my mission. I think I will from. I mean, so much to go. I can't put in with you. Move down and anchor all day. On your vision now, on to the film. As some of my medical trend say, in front of my friend, they say, on all for this Kenya Bush and Fee, and the cheap and any of the 20, only ya, Omiyano Bia, and living on yet. And I was okay. See, I want to catch me in November Friday now, or better family in a share with the not regional more coordinators, engineers, Nadina Makoshe say, Yami and Hajimo one. On my neighbor bed there, and the president Abadua, or dying for say, Kwame. And many tools. No, and a very 536, and my friends will we feel on Timimla. Oh, Bama, my name is she, and I'm so better for Nimla. This is not the way we find. But almost 2 months on to the Bombay. Los nameless is here, Kwame to come cotton. And I'm cotton and add more coordinators maybe. And again, you could show or not so. Maybe I got an edano. Nina got an uncle of Nya, Omunia, the disease, they are got Mr. Gatanami. And now, before them coming, answer the William Mr. Babano. Now, maybe a massage, no, Hona, maybe chance for in Kwame, me, baby, now, I want to be a gas and a shackle to both sides, at to bear almost 400 meters. 400 feet. Kwame started. Ntoba no say, na me no, na me is straight in cross assassin Mankasa. Before them na MC, you know, asthma boys be they are not the workers at the Metropolitan Assembly. They are more than younger. Kwame mo buy big boo friends on one side in Lagos say, assassin anu nka ho. There is no need document of assassin. Once we need assassin document dia, na assassin craft no, omo di chemi man tom ni bibia wo so. Omo yi ya me anka, omo ya bomi. And the future. Oh, we don't miss an over how the Bibiana, okay, Kwame, my year gatan. Not one people, be engineers from Mudomo Nano, included the NCO bound better, and you got an interest rate now, and a silver area from Kwame. Messi picture, my year gatan, Bibia, the last young Kay gatan, and yet, Saturday, now, the Komu baby gatan, Bibia, Kwame. Ah, no honor, Ubu, Lisa Samuel, Esther, that was 10 days. My minute at Baho Tuesday, my Bama order say, when the boom friends for any building is in Nana, when you can get my name person die. Because of no money property or honor identity, she don't want to allow me to develop on my property.
Mammy, dear, Sagatana, a Dawachihono. Ah, Romney Dina so ebeye action we know. Why in the 2 year? Why another hobble? A pamper, no, Pamper for Mutuno, happy and go more, or more so ebeya. You see, I think I didn't ever go sell Montano. You see, I got to be a public from Louis Agatan to 2015, 2016, Louis Agatan. And because from who am assassin. It's Kwame. Who showed that I done a missing for more than 15, 16 years ago. You see, and then they are my friends one and first one made it media 6 feet or 180, Senator Confusion my foul. And as for government, you got any business that she didn't call her jump best either affecting one to just 6 feet to achieve. Kwame, after that, you know, me starting almost my ministry book be able to make that information quickly. And I make sure, me too kind of make call, general, the time that was last week. And I born and said, "Dear man, it's a my bread, you the American." And I was mentioning, Kwame, NDC party, party papa, your leaders, they are very good, and then they care for everyone. I told me, can't say, young Chama, and say, hey, you say, I'm not about any law. Said, almost be share, not Yami and Ya, almost me no be any problem. Quickly now, last week Tuesday, and I national time call region, national, and a family committee. Say, only investigation about this problem. Say, Diana, they are many canon, and they are regional Mr. A episode yellow.
say pass ma no muma say friends local government minister ni friends Western House minister no bia nya dey omo nkwohwe say bia me ye no enye no the report ni ba there was some advice was some no be mami ama wa from committee na di levi ti mo na me ne baba samba e kasa e baba say o wa from committee no ni chairman Dr. William Adoji or something. And now, all this, but I didn't know my mommy. And my friend. The president of the information is the money the Bubu are. And I'm even sending a video about their mammy cow or what she's doing. So quickly, Nana, Miss Anso, a year course, say, I don't okay. And see, Kwame, maybe big man paying for. Say, we are passing, yes, we are passing, maybe be in ya, Momonka. Quickly, Nana, make Jabo call Sasa House. If you call a manco, make a manco too, where you can call Shell. How to make friend and not Oyelita for staff. Don't I manage to be dinty when some family sending message say, Mammy no many no, or prefer concern a human or matric committee say, committee better to your Monday late and an answer. Let me 10 years, on the first year, you Nana Ubiako. No one but such rubbish said, you are million and yet. I mean, yes, you got it. Maybe dinner, yeah, they have every right to punish you. No matter say, computer trans Monday 10 a.m. I'm inviting now. Kwame, make banner, air Friday no, and another 80% message say, also, we can miss an also new shame. Now, everything what is the beginning of Kubu. Quick enough, I send video now, me what our commander say, you could bully now, break up this war, everything has to be clear. Oh,
I just say, yeah, Casino. Owo no a yehu no social media wo send bi so ma me no eno na wabuo
eno na wabubu ni na egu
dan na wo simu ro
dan message for years ni de wan fa ni zanka but friends no bubu side bi bia egu fom nti pa me de ko ba ni na ni say that was me first of me ba no and then see the friends no we and me say me wo me na pansa me ba dance man no so me for office Kwame in madam for your control no office. And the MC no catch me say, or send now Brasimu. Me man kwano ko bubu ni wo na dia bi no misane ye no kwanhwe na adwuma be bo no no say ade a ti committee wo ho a man dey be trans me ma o kwan ne ma kwan tran. And me yi letter from the committee put out some for the letter no my 2014 me dey man no and of me pie na me excuse mo o bodu mo me excuse mo be 10 is offense me na me ko na okay. Or mammy up to Monday. Or with you up to Monday. Na make it division and yes, sir. If you didn't say man or Obeku Guadri, I didn't say the dream. I didn't move a kubu. And look at my son, Miss Selena McQuay. I mean, no Hasana or the Dadani. And see, Saturday, no work about outside from our friends that Kobe, yet the machine is not the bomb bubu friends one. Or a midday Kakudu. Look at that. And see, the Alcatraz no way. What is David? This is one of your friend Baba, and on any Kasai. And on catch a Baba say, answer over judgment on Fred, and yet we don't miss another so good. And a bear, a course of quick champion for which take on for 1 hour. And the committee chairman, Mr. William Soba, in so much on Nomina Kasai. Now we don't miss another baby on him. No, our friend on phone, so we don't miss a Dumon personal phone. Now, or the different number F, and another friend, MC no mom command. And so anything that is a Baba, someone will move on. Say, hey, who is that Baba? Who is that? Not like the people if you nothing. None with the phone you will do.
Oh, now when every say, no, would I?
Not is now hobby. I mean, to make us say, me, mamma, I see call my assassin, and Uncle Buadino. And now, everything can say, pajama to mention it. Just a video, ma. There is no boo, we will tell you. No, almost Bubu, side for half of the wall. Almost both now the same MC catches on pajama 2020. One of the national security men be about bear 3 times. Or no, and now that person say, Yale, young mummy. I mean, that they look at our progress in boom, you know. And maybe I knew we should be doing one. We pajama, no booming. But this you know, we buy and Norwegian video now work about Kuchaya. And no bobo menim machine, I don't know. And no more than no more than social media and a full video. I mean, they want to say me. So that day, no. And your regional minister, and all year everything said, almost time in the minister, I'm a Brahma Brewer party, and a baby, I was say, all these 2 minute positions sending, sir. not sitting. Or funny Yama, National Executive form committee about the investigation of this matter. No, and fact, media mobile or do for the whole day. So they were said because of Bianca, not only MC in the committee. And to me, there are many first arguments to honestly to Kwame. Medication, I'm lawyers. And I want to address the public today. You see, we organize a press conference and there with 2 p.m. Now, Obiawi said the Miami party and then Obia man position also boning the party media or party. Say, Mammy, Sebi, think a camper. Means Miss Macau already. So the Kwame, the only idea she can't be well. She can't be well. Any crime they fast for the Jumano, equal to the idea, Mammy, every intimidation, no one. On the assassin and one question will be beyond the good days and media. 2. Say some person with the measurement of the land. Anybody assassin look out. Not only say, not for everything say. On the man genius idea about what my share assassin everything. Only then give their money because when you say committee starting man there, on your coin with their pageantry. On the Sunday, yes, and because of what their pageant. Guys, I know who is but in conformity, no more when assassin is only a 6 feet and a bang. And I mean, first one I meet transmitter, I think 6 feet to a trimmer. First one, Calem, a dano. If you want to make me on the hour and go boo, and my boo, first one, baby, umbet me a boo. But dano, and a major dano. I mean, also go move Buddha in the goo. Let the young shape, yes. So now, my lawyers, with the case of my lawyers, I am my lawyers, I think they'll control before you sue the government or something. It's a process. Also, mom notice for 21 days. My lawyers out there need working hard. Say, you better say, Bonnie Bain the womb, and then my meaning, Cynthia, and your government property, your government land, and nothing, and your water lodge. On the thread, the Wuntia, Obubusa, on my order. One would deny the beer, there's a video. One more that says, the mom have to choose the mom who down we are, when we first one in me, I'm the message of the baby. I'm saying, yes, a come up on it because the are said many could do. Now, what personal interest, a bit handsome is that way. Did I deserve the treatment the legal meter treat me? Not saying it will be out by me, Umobia. And you swear, say, who is that Baba? Who is that doctor? And so what? Do your work. If you didn't do it, I'll come and do it myself. And everyone, no. So, my mission don't feel like I'm trying to be a project now, and won't say to my mission. Not get project about Fatua. Could you money here? I mean, Oko Juma Kona share, me Papa Juma Konani. Oko Ofi Juma Kona, Papa that was 2014. The Bupu now the missing for 4. Osha material opening consumer's house. If you Madam once from Kota will be a dance war, said about Papa in Betsy. You see the same fear, Mamma, you go from. It is all bush if you want me to say now. Me. Individual person now, member of the project, after 2 or day on. Bonnie Ben Kwame Maye. I think, say, we'll meet the woman at court. Say, oh, Johnson, and they didn't give me any notice, nothing. I'm going to be a said man. National Executive, Kwame with discipline for us. Come on, fast so, and they hand their same Kwame Mihubida. Yamisha Baba, and then Yamisha pay for Baba Jamamo. I continue to see Nanya show be someone you're not from there, but I can't get any command. I don't do 2 hours and a month. There was no. And the young time 2 o'clock, we are, you best said you won't come up in why? Calling me that with a cheerful nurse. Yamiso, so that was Yamiso showers so. Ora Kobi Mensa, why ye NDC member, Kessie Pa, na someone atono, and I yedi home common patcho. Electroland Ghana Limited. Wamutunton, a near Mahudo TV, washing machines, microwave blenders, air fryers, water dispensers, and the kitchen appliances. Wamutunton na brand in the if Samsung, TCL, Media, and a NASCO. Wake up and see a bebo. Was so more the smart TV, and I wake up. Akwaya obebo a difference my abaka by 5 minutes or me say. Baba Rama ubehum Baba Rama pa Mamen Baba Rama ubehum na TV no 699 cedis enu 700 cedis yo LED smart TV
obehwe ne live pa ewo ho nti tumirikai neko na afei eniema wodo a woton ne nyina watete so esan wake up nti uwie nso a wode akyede kese raffle nso so aba na eno nso wawuram na uwie electroland fo a ye wo ring road Accra ha ye ni Paloma bo ho tema nso ye ben post office no electroland wo ho Madina taxi rank wo ye ni Ecobank ne bo ho Adenta barrier ye wo ho Kasoa ye ben Coca-Cola danso man so dasma may run about no ye wo ho en industrial area nso no ye ni Alliance Global ena ebo ho Kasejan ye wo ho Accra nso Opera Square obehu Electroland Ghana Limited wo ho Electroland ye sign ben La Paz ben Las Palmas hacho ye ne Ecobank no ene ba ho ye wo be Ashama Market but your numbers ni ye mienu main number no ni 0503 15 97 39 0503 15 97 39 the number we so can when your NASCO number 0502 98 98 94 0502 98 98 94 Electroland Ghana was bringing the stadium home. Okay, 101.7 Swini. Na ye gwede yen sore so ya sore so ni ya sore so mpo ansa na ma mefa we fam obi hwehwe edan o we mani o we ha o hwe edan opechembe and hall apartment na edan no se wall pass barrier Franco Estate Achimota Abeka Tesano North Kandeshi ene Elisa adwuma no Elisa dan na wo no e far from Abeka Junction there bi no obi frɛ me a o say pa cho me dan no e wo teacher mante be mo hapa na Accra wo teacher mante ni ba ko gon ni group number ni ubefra 0546 80 14 60 0546 80 14 60 na ubefra edan ya eye 0546 80 14 60 0546 80 14 16 aha ofra na wonso so ba be ofra no ba be oh enno aso meka eye ho asem Kojo Hansen sena kokodidi si enna Amazon din ntade enno aka no hye baako eye political seat kaftan no arahu na enchia sonko enkoma maami efua hujeto na maami efua hujeto oye wona ye CEO ema Ghana Tourism Authority hwe enkrofo amampani mahama ama ho madwuma no maami efua CEO Ghana Tourism Authority waka ho wa badwuma papa eniama wodo a maamiefua hujetodi ato akwan mu a ode ba no hwe food tourism wode ba wode eniama wodo bebre textile tourism ode beba wode cultural tourism and de ohodada chese obadwuma pa obadwuma enti wobia tia won chia maamiefua hujeto mame ono eneye CEO Emma Ghana Tourism Authority obadwuma pa obadwuma mampani so edewase se oba sima yede ukoye wankoye ankototo ho adanse no wayire ho eye dwuma ama eye tourism industry no aye krabehwe yeda asepa okay 101.7 eso ini happy birthday to Mrs. Abigail Ochre wo US abrochimemu wo kunu Stephen Ochre a wo Connecticut US ene oba na nedro US ene omo ene your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, 101.7 so enie ene na ye sorry so ene na ye sorry so nti ye sorry sue no Yerwa Halifax ansa adu what the year best entertainment and so ebeba or the best entertainment and so ebeba. If I'm a radio was I'm going to see me money president of the land me put up and kwa studio me and then mutima me be amakwafo enka ya munyina monitia ojenyado ya kramo.